Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of A Game Designer Plays here in the lab where we stream the niche games you might have loved if you'd ever played them. I'm your host, CareLevelZero, and tonight we continue our delve into Necrobarista, a game in which we apparently serve a combination of coffee and acerbic humor to the recently departed, and occasionally living people, and Ned. But fuck Ned, right? Fuck Ned. That guy's terrible. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week so far. Happy Hump Day. Getting closer and closer to... wait, no. Hump Day was yesterday. Oh, shit, it's Thursday. Oh, thank God. Never mind. It's further in the week than I thought it was. Hooray. I feel better now. The game to the right of 100 line is Battle Train. It's weird. It's weird but amusing. It's kind of a roguelite track-laying train combat game. It's well, you know, it's a thing. It's also internally a game show. The whole thing's very goofy, but not too shabby either. Oh man, so we've got some more Necrobarista tonight. We'll be back to 428 Shibuya Scramble on Virtual Couch tomorrow. And with any luck, I hope, that'll wrap us on Necrobarista, because next week, that means we'll be moving on to the next in our featured playthrough list, which would be No Sleep for Konami Date. Been a little while since we've done a Somnium Files. When was Nirvana Initiative? It's like a couple of years ago, right? Definitely been a little while. I'm curious how this one does. I liked the first more than the second, but I have Kazutaka? No, Uchikoshi. Uchikoshi was still kind of involved in this one, but did not direct it. But apparently he found it as close to the original enough that he wasn't sure how he didn't direct it. So that gives some hope. It gives a bit of hope. Linear time has lost all grasp on you. Not be able to tell how long ago that was. Yeah, I absolutely hear you on that. Let's see, I'm just going to throw my voices up the side here. And now I'm actually curious. Nirvana Initiative release date. When were you? Wow, okay. Nope, that was 3 years ago. We covered Nirvana Initiative 3 years ago. Oh god, that's right, because I came out of hiatus to do this and Rise. Oh wow, shit, yeah. Damn. Time flies. Where the hell has it gone? I don't like that. Give me my time back. I have too little of it as is. I can't spare any. Alrighty, well, let's roll over and just get straight down to, well, close enough to straight down to business. Before I forget, all the usual social skeets, tweets, etc. are up. If you want to help raise some noise for the niche, that is always appreciated. And we are dual streaming to the YouTube side as well. If you would not mind smacking the like button over there, dual lurking, whatever it is you may do, always appreciated. Made myself fresh coffee for this. As you know, the dead need coffee, and frankly, so do I. I feel quite dead lately. I am so tired. I have taken to napping for like 20 minutes before the show. I just go lay down before the show for 20 minutes and try to come back to life enough to do the show. So far, it's working. Oh, and apparently I'm purple to start today. I don't know when that got turned on. Oh, Otter did it. Thank you, Otter. Apparently I'm purple. And let's unmute you, game. I did solve, as you can see by me being purple. Wait, no. No, technically that's not correct. It's going to break when I flip over here. But, hold on a moment. Not all is lost. I can actually remove that filter. I fixed the switch. I don't remember how Past Me figured it out. But apparently what Past Me did was made a new media plate and specifically named it Switch. And I found it on my list, and I just swapped that media plate. And it turns out the difference is that the PS5 is coming in at 59.94 frames per second, and that is exactly what the Blackmagic is looking for. The Switch is 0.06 frames different from that. And because it is not the same value, it fucking dies. so I had to make it a custom plate to perfectly match that value. But hey, it works now. Oh fuck yeah, Cubby. I'm so sorry to hear about your dog. Cheers to the dog. It has certainly been a week filled with news of that variety, as Discord could tell you. Oh, the black magic is absolutely made of black magic. Everything about it is pure evil. The game next to Necrobarista, that is Espgaluta 2. That is a wonderful little bullet hell title. I have a lot of those floating around. What else do I have floating around on here? Lunar Lux, I backed that one. Dream Tactics, that's a weird one. There's Xenoblade Chronicles X, various Atelier games, unsurprisingly, yeah. Lunar Lux is a great time. I haven't even played it. I backed it and got my copy, and I haven't played it. I will eventually, at some point, as always. Torn between wanting a little more and a little less news this week. Yeah, it's been like that, hasn't it? All right, I think we should be able to just pick up exactly where we were. Yes. Alright, let's double check on balance. How are we on balance? It's mostly just the music we have to worry about. Because there's no VO other than mine. Oh, Ben, remind me to poke you about character plans. Day 2, 12 p.m., the terminal. You gotta be coming up on the end of Kishan's time here. Oh.
Arise and shine.
Don't wanna.
You should not waste your last hours on Earth sleeping.
Man, I was hoping I was having a really long, weird dream.
Sorry, no such luck.
Some more pedantic magical practitioners are quite bothered by flippant and colloquial use of the word luck. Jay is not one of them. I'm still having trouble getting my head around it.
I totally understand. Would you like a coffee?
Yes. So I set up a reminder another window. Excellent. Might as well give you something to work with, right? Yeah, just something simple.
Hipster coffee coming right up.
What's going on downstairs? I didn't even know you had a downstairs.
There is more to this place than meets the eye. Maddy is down there desperately trying to fix our debt situation.
Sounds like she's hosting a cage match or something.
Well, not exactly. But she has mentioned wanting to do that. There's some wrestler called the Red Comet that she would not stop talking about for a while.
Ah.
And then because of that, Ashley got obsessed with wrestling for a bit and kept trying to suplex me.
Ashley's small, so she has to opt for wrestling moves that control the opponent's weight instead of trying to lift them. Did she manage to? She's tiny.
A couple of times.
Huh.
It was very humiliating.
I can imagine.
But to properly answer your question, Maddy is running a gambling ring.
Yeah. And you find yourself standing on the brink of death, the wager could be a chance at salvation or the last chance to feel danger. Both of these appeal to different types of patrons. And apparently I've managed the Shadow Realm. Thank you! Could probably hustle up some good business with cage fights between undeads. I mean, how many people get the opportunity to die twice? Downstairs? All by yourself.
It is a fairly unconventional one.
And by unconventional, you mean...
Mortals generally are not involved. The stakes are higher than usual.
Oh.
Coffee is ready.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, Toa. I gotta ask Quatorius what the flavor of the day is. Hey, King Rai. Undead cage fights is the new horse girl racing. Oh, I mean, just gotta make it undead girl cage fights and super sold. Alright, Quatorius, what is the flavor of today's show? I'm into the Baleo diet. I lose weight by exploding everything. What would... Bailey, oh my god. I had to think about that for a moment. Fuck. Alright, so apparently the flavor of the day is just going to be painful puns. Thank you, Quatorius. Undead Girl Cage Fights will be the name of my new band. Be careful or I'm going to wind up trying to introduce that into the campaign. Undead Horse Girl Racing? I mean... Halloween event.
Come over and get it. They gamble for time, among other things.
You don't sound like you're a huge fan of the idea.
I'm not.
We're onto a gold mine here. Undead anime girl cage fights, yeah. Fetish and light world that hasn't been to death yet. Oh god, you know what? It used to be that for anything you could think of, there was probably a pornographic side of it. But these days, I'm fairly certain if there's anything you can think of, there's already been 6 light novel series about it. Disturbing how that trend has changed. I think I preferred the old one. Since Horse Girls didn't have a whole idle bit, it's very akin to Zombieland Saga. Fuck. And now there's no point in doing this anymore. Rule 34.2. I feel like the title of the rule has to be at least as long as a light novel title. The Cult of the Lads, Raving Pyro? Nice.
One of us by force or by choice.
Phil, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 10 gift subs. Enjoy your random science emugs and motes. Emotes, and mugs. My brain is not here today. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Really. How you doing this evening, Bill? Man, I've got bottles of stuff you sent me I'm still trying to work through, dude. But now I've got ones I haven't opened that I think I need to keep sealed for a move. You found a WN set in 7 days to die. Good lord. I can't believe my undead girlfriend just suplexed a train. There's your title. Oh, that's way too short. That's the shorthand for the title, I assume. You're gonna have to give me the actual full title, because that is clearly the shorthand. Give me the real one.
Lost half my brain and the other one went looking for it.
Thank you for the bits, Bill, and yeah, that pretty much sums me up today.
I am not. It is undignified.
I mean, as long as Maddy's not in danger, shouldn't it be fine?
The council does not like it. They turn a blind eye because we do not cause trouble otherwise. But I would rather not have to worry about bad things coming our way. Because Maddy refuses to approach the problem from a different angle.
Ow. Jeez. Thank you. Thank you, Quatorius. Sometimes it doesn't need to be a weak point to make your life a living hell. The time I got my back and heart broken by my undead girlfriend in a cage fight in another world. Oh, there we go. Frigolit's onto it. That'll do. That'll do. I like how you managed to work the another world shit in there as well. Because, you know, if there's one thing we need more of, it's fucking isekai. Dude. Please no more. Though, I do think it says something very interesting about the state of the world that so many isekai seem to involve the very specific power fantasy of being a boss who's not a super dick to their employees. It's a very specific power fantasy. It says a lot. Also dying. Well, I mean, that's not changed from anything else, right? And by problem, you mean the debt, yeah? I was pretty drunk, but I think I remember Maddy storming off after Ned turned up.
Yes. I'm a bit worried about her.
So many of them die from overworking these guys? Yep. Overworked to death. And get to go somewhere and be a boss and treat your employees with grace and dignity and give them living wage and make their life better. Yeah. That's a pretty common trend.
There's an isekai dedicated to unaliving. No longer allowed in another world, I think it was called.
I've heard of that one. Though I am well off watching an isekai at this point. I gave isekai shit for a long time. Because I grew up with early isekai and then I looked at some of the newer stuff and it's like, this seems kind of crappy. So I went ahead and I figured, you know what, though, I do like to if I'm going to mock something, I prefer to approach it from a point of education. So I went out and I was like, alright, I'm just going to watch a bunch of isekai. And it reached a point where Daimyo would bring something up that sounded incredibly specific, and then we'd realize we weren't actually even talking about the same show, and we realized that there's just too much of the same shit piled up. You cannot tell any of it apart anymore. I wish I could help. You all seem pretty nice.
The thought is appreciated. Maddy will figure it out eventually, though, I'm sure. She just needs time. A lot of it, apparently. 600 hours, last I recall the debt.
Hey, thanks for the coffee, by the way. I just realized you haven't actually made me pay for a bunch of them.
And how do you expect to pay for them?
Oh, right. Yep, no cash.
If I were feeling particularly capricious, I would ask you to pay in time. But you're a nice kid, and you need every minute you've got. You wanna head downstairs? I can see your eyes darting to the stairs. I'm not going down, but I'm also not gonna stop you.
Yeah, if that's okay.
Go on then. I will stick around up here.
Why does he look like Okabe from Steins Gate?
Thank you for the bits, Bill. Yeah, actually, I guess he does kind of look like Okabe, doesn't he? I mean, he's wearing white, but he's not wearing a lab coat. Unlike some of us. Catch you in a bit. Yeah, the little bursts of motion are nice. It's a little bit of animation here and there for key things, and a little bit of camera movement. I appreciate the subtle, like the light drift on camera when it's holding frame. Just keeps... There's always just a little bit of motion even when there's not really motion. The stairs that led down to the basement were solid and well worn, with smooth ruts on each step and a handrail that had been polished to a silky sheen through years of use. Kishan had always liked stairwells. People never lingered in them for long, and he'd found them to be a good place to catch a breather. He wasn't obsessed with them, that'd be weird, but he definitely appreciated a nice set of stairs. On further reflection, it was probably a bit weird. Downstairs, Maddy's audience clamored for blood. Even the dead find blood sports compelling, apparently. Party pair for stairs. Oh yeah. Gambling time. From you to me. With the understanding that your remaining moments in this plane are limited, you surrender this time freely without coercion, as agreed. Contract fulfilled. You're free to go. Everything comes at a price. Nothing risked, nothing gained. That's 3 in a row, you bloodthirsty bastards. The crowd cheered. Maddy was clearly an expert at winding them up into a frenzy. Who's next? The room fell dead silent. Come on, isn't anyone here brave enough to challenge me? His obsessions were firmly set in the work of barrels. Barrel? Barrel. I thought you came here to play with knives, you pansies. Seriously, anyone? Don't hold out on me. Taruda. Do I have to pick someone out from the crowd then? Is that what we've come to? Maddy's gaze swept the audience. Kishan, good to see you upright.
Interested in a game of skill?
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh, sure?
Give me some enthusiasm, my man.
Sure. What's the game?
5-finger fillet.
Oh, we're going bishop.
Some of the people in here just call it the knife game. You heard of it?
Oh, someone has confidence. Oh, finally, something I'm good at. Oh, really? Episode 3, Rise and Shine. I like that shot. You got a lot of knives in this place.
Tell me about it.
Damn, this thing has a good weight to it.
Of course, I wouldn't make you compete with an inferior tool.
Look, Vegeta, it's a subscriber.
Start over, Kitty. Thank you for 44 months. Welcome back. Much appreciated. Cheers. Almost 4 years. Time flies. Exactly. Oh, I see you've played Knifey Spooning before. Oh, Simpsons jar. Huh.
What?
Sorry. I was waiting for you to segue into calling me an inferior tool.
Shit, that was low-hanging fruit, wasn't it? Next time, mate.
Sure. Kishan did another experimental slash, and this time made an audible whoosh. Spectators oohed and awed. Oh boy, our boy is actually good at something? But this wasn't for them. He knew that he owed only one shot to get accustomed to the blade.
You done showing off?
Hey, Kekken! Nothing wrong with putting on a little show.
Sounds like you're stalling for time. Getting cold feet, perhaps?
Not a chance.
Let's get started, then. You know what you're wagering?
Shay mentioned something about you gambling with time.
It's not gambling if it's a game of skill. Well, that's beside the point. We're both wagering 4 hours. If you win, it comes from the cafe's balance. If I win, it comes from yours. You've got around 16 hours left in case you weren't keeping track.
Shit, only that many? Shit, we've only spent 8 hours? I really kind of thought he'd been here longer already.
Want a little extra time to play with, then?
Hell yes. Let's stop wasting it and get this over with.
You sure you know what you're getting into? Most people are pretty shy about playing with the time they have left, especially with their tanks running as empty as yours.
Yep, come on. Unless you're getting cold feet.
Hardly. You've got 30 seconds. Smack the timer when you're ready.
I just half expect him first strike right through the middle of his hand. The crowd cheered and Kishan fed off their enthusiasm. In response, Maddy leaned back and tapped her finger on the table, feigning impatience. Him at her eyes grinned and continued his performance. His stabbing motion got faster as he went, the point narrowly missing each of his fingers. Stabs, strong enough to drive a knife a millimeter or two into the table, were good if you wanted to put on a show. And of course, giving the spectators a show was part of the fun. Can't tell if that's meant to be internal or if that's her. I think that's her.
Might be going fast enough to put on a show, but you're not going fast enough to win.
How'd I do?
16 sets if I counted correctly. Oh,
I couldn't do 16.
That's how many Maddy beat me with.
Is she gonna lose? No, she's gonna kick his ass.
feeling good about that result?
I certainly am. Yeah, I'm digging the music.
Rightio then. Watch closely.
Oh, I will.
16.
7, 11, 15. Did she throw at 15? Nope, nope.
Told you she's unbeatable.
Is it magic? She could cheat if she wanted to. Definitely not. She's just that good. Oh, poor guy didn't know what he was getting into.
Sorry, mate.
Oh, you beat me fair and square. I'm pretty impressed.
I aim to please. I'll be taking those hours now if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. How does this work?
Just like this. You won't feel a thing.
Kishan felt a brief tightness in his chest, and for just a moment the tip of Maddy's finger burned white hot. You can't beat entropy. Anytime you do an energy transfer, there's going to be some amount of energy lost to heat. Ow! Oh, shit!
Sorry, I lied. It's done now, though. Alright. Does anyone else dare to compete with me? Come on, looking for some actual decent opposition here. I'll take any challenge. Even if it was chess or something.
Any challenge?
No, I challenge you. To get everyone a drink. The round is on me.
Well, that's one way to break it up. I would say your funeral, we're going to skip that part just a little bit, yeah.
I didn't realize you were watching.
There was not anything happening upstairs, and I got bored.
Right.
So, you took some hours from Kishan, huh?
Yep, I did.
You feel good about that?
Jay,
Do you?
I won them fair and square.
He did not know what he was getting into. There's an obvious power imbalance here that you are exploiting.
Jay doesn't want to let you forget the responsibilities that come with power. Wait, I thought she got all the great responsibility, but not the great power.
He knew the rules.
It does not change anything. You led him to believe that he would get some extra time.
Maddy knows firsthand how seductive the promise of extra time can be. Oh, it doesn't work though, does it? The 24 hours is a max period, isn't it? You can't... You probably cannot give them 4 hours.
And
Barring a miracle on his part, that absolutely was not going to happen.
doesn't matter. He's just passing through. A couple hours won't make any difference.
Maddy, I am disappointed in you. Our patrons respect us. We need to earn that respect by treating them with respect ourselves. This is not respectful nor dignified. Cheating vulnerable passers through out of their time, we are above that. We are better than that. I do not care whether you think it is dishonest or not. I want you to give that poor man his time back. Don't pout. This is serious. I feel like a broken record saying this, but while I understand your intentions are good, you cannot keep doing these things.
It's all for you.
If you really want to do this for me, find another way.
Respect Che a hell of a lot. I like the dude. And Maddy may be underhanded, but having met Ned and understanding the meaning of their debt now, I get where she's coming from. Having met Ned, fuck Ned? Yes, fuck Ned.
This is not worth it, Maddy. It breaks my heart to see you like this, and I know that you were trying your hardest. But this really truly is not worth sacrificing your own self-respect over. Everyone here respects you, but you gambling with hours just cheapens that.
I'll give the hours back. Shame. That was pretty great with the knife.
Still not as good as me.
I was pretty close.
Having also met Ned, it was very much an understatement when Maddy called him trash like 7 times. It's you, Ned. You are the trash. The trash is you, Ned. In case I wasn't clear about that, Ned, you are the trash. Oh shit. Right! We drew faces on them! Well, how about that then? I love this. Oh, yeah. What form did you have before you were reborn? Oh. I think I was a crab. Come on, I'm being serious here. Ashley would harvest spirit liquid from a crab. Probably. You're assuming an awful lot about how squeamish she is.
Oh, as far as I can remember, I lived above streets next to the sky.
So a bird then. Hey Xanath. Missed the beginning of this game. I feel like I'll have to watch the VOD for this to make any sense. Honestly, I can probably catch you up reasonably fast. So for anyone coming in late, here's, ignoring this is their Tachikoma-esque interlude. You don't have to pay attention to this part for the moment. Basically, this is kind of a series of stories that takes place at a coffee shop in Australia that also happens to serve as a kickoff point for the recently departed. It serves both the living and the dead. The dead have 24 hours before they have to pass on. We only have a handful of characters involved so far. Maddy, the girl with the red glasses, is the barista and recently became the owner. Che, the guy in the white, is the former owner. He's been dead for about 200 years. No, yes, he's over 200 years old. Got the impression he died a while ago, though. Ned, well, you'll know Ned when you see him. His head's shaped like a dick because he is one. And Kishan, who was just gambling with his time, he is the recently dead. Any given point in time, could be any number of living or dead people in the cafe. Don't ask who's dead, it's rude. Yes, Kishan is apparently pretty good at five-finger fillet. Wings and feathers and such.
Oh, no, not that.
Oh wait, and what about Ashley? Oh, what am I saying? Right, Ashley, the yes, the tiny menace. 13, recently developed a caffeine addiction, it seems. Crashes very hard. Possibly genius. Throws knives.
Oh, no, not that. Oh, I remember flying, though.
Oh god, you fell to your death, didn't you? Oh, wait, were you a sugar glider?
Describe?
Well, did you eat insects and tree sap and flower nectar?
Oh, that is familiar.
No wonder how I actually found you then. Well, could have been anything, really. You mentioned bright lights earlier. Oof. Yeah, I'm thinking you got hit by a car.
Oh, that seems likely. Is that bad?
Well, I mean, you're here now, so... whether you like it or not, you're dead. Shut up. Shut up, Dale.
Oh, I'm still adjusting.
They don't normally have faces and squiggles on them, but the game gave us the option to draw on them, so I did. So we gave them, well, we gave two of them faces and one of them a terrible, terrible attempted Mickey. It's very hard to draw at low frame rate with a Joy-Con, apparently. Put aside a Dale Funko at work today and forgot to grab before you left. Oh no! Wait, there's Funkos of Dale? Well, god damn it. Studio mode now available. We can speak to Kishan to access studio mode. Ah, looks like we have a brief bit between our episodes down here. Well, let's explore a memory.
Well, let's go, little girl.
Man standing in front of Beth smirked. The knife he held seemed almost slight compared to his massive hands, but that didn't make it any less intimidating. Finish this one quick, came a call from behind the knife holder. 3 men stood behind him, wearing expressions which ranged from amused to bored. Beth felt her palms getting sweaty and loosened her grip on the knife in her right hand, sliding her thumb along the guard to reassure herself that its shape hadn't changed since the moment she picked it up. Now, take your friend's advice, Beth said to the man who was menacing her. Finish this quick. After all, I am just a little girl. Well, as little as any 15-year-old girl could be. Can do, said the man, and he drew his knife up for an overhand swing. The man's movement suggested that he didn't know how to use a knife. Not really. He was swinging the knife like he'd swung a fist. Like he was trying to bludgeon her with it. Like he'd never really used a knife before. He was stupid. Mercifully stupid. She tried to reassure herself of the fact, trying not to lose her resolve. He lunged towards her as he brought the knife down, and Beth raised her left arm. She felt the edge of the knife hit her skin, but the impact of the blow caused the man to lose his grip on the knife. An opening. Beth grabbed the attacker's knife arm, pulled him toward her while thrusting her own knife toward him at chest level. She drove the knife into the man's chest with all the force she could muster, and he fell to the ground and gasped as Beth released her grip on him. The man lay on the ground and put a hand to his chest, moaning. Son of a bitch! Entire alley crew. Oh, real? Nice. Celebrate this. Oh, to celebrate series revival. Gotcha. You doing okay down there? Said Beth. Man sat up and patted his chest. I didn't expect to lose to a girl. No, said the man. Well, that too, but I didn't expect it to hurt this much. These rubber practice knives are no joke, said Beth. If I'd stabbed any harder, I might have broken a rib. The man stood up. You got a name, girl? You can call me Beth, she said, extending a hand. He shook it with a look of hesitation. I'm Kyle. I gotta say, Beth, that was kind of a cheap trick. How do you mean? Said Beth. I mean, the way you blocked my knife with your arm. Just bounced right off. Couldn't do that if we were using real knives. He's right, said one of the spectators. Not really a fair fight with rubber knives. I'd like a rematch, said Kyle. Yeah, said one of the spectators. Rematch. The others began chanting along with him. Rematch, rematch, rematch. A voice thundered from above. I thought I told you guys to keep it down. Everyone spun around to face the stairs leading up to the ground floor. Oh, it's Maddy. Maddy was leaning over the railing of the staircase with a stern look on her face. She tapped a poster on the wall. Beth took a moment to glance at the sign. Fight Club rules. 1. Don't quote Tyler Durden. Oh. 2. Seriously, no Tyler Durden quotes. 3. Always assume your opponent is mortal. Practice weapons only. 4. Be considerate to other guests. Keep noise to a reasonable level.
We don't have many rules here, said Maddy. Please don't make me kick you out of the basement.
Everyone else in the room cast their gaze downward, looking ashamed, with several mumbled apologies. Maddy nodded and climbed back up the stairs, content that she had made her point.
Seriously, though.
Oh, no, that's Napa voice.
God damn it, there we go. Lost your voice. Seriously, though, said Kyle. Not really a fair fight without real knives.
Beth walked over to the edge of the room and lifted a rug, revealing 2 steak knives. Several whispers erupted from the small crowd. Where'd you get these?
Where'd you get these? Asked Kyle.
I swiped them from upstairs, said Beth. They're not exactly combat gear, but these blades are fit to cut through flesh, whether it's cooked steak or human arm. Beth held one of the steak knives by the blade, presenting its handle to Kyle. We've already broken one rule tonight. How about breaking another one?
I won't get hurt, said Kyle. I mean, I can still feel the pain, but, I'm not afraid of getting stabbed.
Neither am I, said Beth. But don't say you're ready for this if you're not ready to bleed. She turned the knife over in her hands, pressing her thumb against the tip, just enough to draw a single drop of blood. Kyle grinned.
Well, I look like I'd be here if I was afraid to die.
Somebody gonna get the shit stabbed out of them, I'm guessing. Man, the downstairs is creepy. Fight Club. I do want to stay on, like, the story, though. To that end. Where's the exit? Oh shit, man, it's dark back here. Nope, not that way. Are there... Wait, there's gotta be stairs. How do I get out of the basement, guys? Wait, is this gonna be like... Oh, I wonder if I have to interact with a few of them, because there was that chain preventing us from going downstairs between the previous couple of episodes. And that went away at some point, but we don't really know when. Kishan's footsteps echoed in a way that startled him. Were his footsteps always so loud? Perhaps it was just the contrast with the surrounding environment which seemed to be completely silent. That made his footfalls seem so jarringly loud as he walked along the catwalk. He was on a catwalk. Why was he on a catwalk? There seemed to be a gaping space below him filled with some sort of mist he couldn't see through. It was fog-like, and yet despite the fog that lapped at his feet, the air felt so dry. The air was thick here. As he breathed heavily, Kishan felt an overwhelming, sweet, sickly odor like the smell of wet or rotting wood. But all he could see around him were steel beams and a concrete path in front of him. Was it rust he was smelling? No, he knew the smell of rust. This was different. This smell was somehow organic, like the smell of a forest after a fresh rainfall. Kishan shivered. Far in the distance, he could see what looked like a building of some sort. So far away that it made the structure he was inside feel almost tunnel-like, as if its only purpose was to convey him to that distant building. He continued walking forward, but as he walked, the building seemed to be growing more and more distant. He quickened his pace, and as he walked faster, he could feel himself moving through the thick, stifling air, and as he looked down, he could see the texture of the catwalk in front of him unchanged, as though he were walking in place. Kishan started to turn backward, but saw only a blinding light. His eyes immediately shut, and when he opened them, he was again facing into the tunnel, with the distant building at the center of his field of view. He tried turning around, but every time he tried to turn his head, his eyes involuntarily shut at the sight of the light, and he was forced to close his eyes or look away. I was confronted again with the sight of a small hut when he opened his eyes. His heart pounded violently inside his chest. The tunnel was so quiet that he could hear his own heartbeat, feel his own pulse inside of his head. Something about this place felt deeply, incredibly wrong. Get back. I have to get back. He tried turning again, and this time found himself unable to even begin rotating his body before his eyes snapped shut, placing him again in a world of darkness until he opened them again, and was confronted with the sight of a small hut in the distance, now looking more far away than ever. I have to get back. Kishan kept facing the building and took a step backward. As he placed his foot on the ground, he felt a gust of wind knock him forward. He let out a yelp of terror. Instinctively, his hands reached for the opposite edges of the catwalk as he fell, trying to steady himself for fear of falling off. The catwalk was wide enough that his body didn't land close enough to the edge for that to have been a risk, and yet as he looked toward the edge, he felt a growing sense of dread that there was something down there that would capture him if he allowed it to catch even the smallest hold of him. Is this purgatory attempts if they don't pay the debt? You mean if they remain here? Because I don't think... Because, like, our place is not purgatory. We are more of a way station before the dead are completely expelled from the world. There was talk of what happens if people attempt to stay past their 24 hours. Something about their soul starting to itch, and apparently things get real unpleasant real fast. Almost as he thought it, he felt the sensation of something pressing against his legs. He stumbled to his feet. He ran forward. The hut ahead of him seemed to grow no closer as he ran, but he ran all the same, running not to reach a destination, but to be away from whatever it was that was behind him. Moments ago, his only thought was an overwhelming desire to turn back, a worry that he was somehow trapped in here. But now that worry was replaced with an overwhelming sense of dread that propelled him forward. He had been pushed forward by something. Something was behind him. Kishan leaned forward and ran. He was no runner. He often found himself winded when forced to climb more than one flight of stairs. And Yet he ran and felt no sense of tiredness holding him back, no need to catch his breath. Maybe it was the thick air here that somehow never allowed him to run out of breath. Maybe it was that the fear of whatever it was behind him was that strong. Kishan felt the air stinging at his eyes as he ran. By now he was running so fast that the thick air felt like a hot wind on his face. Tears began running down his face, but he couldn't find it in him to raise a hand to wipe at his eyes. That would mean slowing his sprint. I've loved the dialogue in the game, but the non-dialogue writing I've found is doesn't really roll off the tongue. I want to get out of this stuff and out of the intermission-y stuff and back into the game. I like that a lot more. So he closed his eyes, fully aware that he was running down a catwalk that had no handrail on either side. At this point he didn't care. He ran and ran. Long after the tears on his face had dried, Kishan realized that he could hear only the sound of his own feet as they struck the catwalk. He couldn't even hear the rush of wind, even as it seemed to buffet his face. There were no sounds of anyone or anything pursuing him. Perhaps there was no pursuer at all. He allowed himself to open his eyes and look down. He looked over his shoulder. This time there was no blinding light, only a distant glow like the light at the end of a long tunnel. In a way, it was the light at the end of a long tunnel, and observing the dim glow of the distant light, Kishan suddenly realized just how far he had run. He turned around and saw the building right in front of him. It had windows that were covered with the same fog that covered the ground around him. Kishan reached for the door handle. He half expected it to be locked and felt a moment of panic as the handle bowed under the pressure of his hand. Was he ready to face whatever was on the other side of that door? Did he even want to enter? Is this how he ended up at the coffee shop? Did he have a choice? What was it that awaited him inside of this building? Answers or more baffling questions? Kishan looked down the tunnel and suddenly felt cold. Whatever this place was, he needed to escape it, and the only form of egress that seemed available to him was the door of this building. He leaned on the handle and felt the door swing open. Nope, it ends there, but I'm going to assume that he ended up here. There, okay. Let me the fuck out, thank you. So I guess there must be one thing we have to read. Who would say no to that psychotic smile, huh? Me? I gotta tell you though, Ben, Maddy presents an interesting form of necromancer to bring to a campaign. But so far I think I've gotten away with coming up with my own brand of weird for campaigns. Lots of you. Coffee-based necromancy is not coming to Karnath anytime soon. Oh. Man, I am looking forward to I'm looking forward to having a little bit more time to dive into my personal project, because now that I've got the bits and pieces in place, shit's kind of rolling. I haven't had much time to work, but anytime I find like a spare 5-10 minutes here or there, I'm working on it. And I think I'm onto something. And I decided a while ago I don't think I could leave this world having not actually made a solo game. Don't think I'd ever be satisfied. So in the interest of not, you know, becoming a vengeful spirit and haunting people for fucking ages for failing to do that, I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Day 2, 5 p.m. outside the terminal. Oh fuck, it's Ned. Haunting people sounds like it could be fun. I don't think it would be Nappa-esque haunting, though. I think it would be the sad emo I didn't do my thing haunting. Are you right? Yeah, I guess. Cool. Mind if I join you? Go for it.
Dury?
What?
Do you want a Dury?
I'm sorry,
Dury. Coffin nail? Cigarette? Do you want to smoke or not?
Oh, right, of course, yeah, sure. Sorry, it's been a weird day. Thanks.
No worries. Where are you from, then?
Huh. You're the first to ask. I live in Collingwood. Where else can you find an active nightlife scene amid active factories, shots, and apartments built all during the 1800s? I don't know if that's meant to be shops, or if they have a serious gun issue in Collingwood. Or a serious drinking issue.
Oh, yeah? Whereabouts?
Smith Street. Oh god, I'm negative now. What have you done, DragonZero?
A bit pricey up there these days, isn't it? I bet you like your avo toast.
Huh. Piss off. I've got housemates. Well.
No, I know what you mean. Bit odd, being dead and all that. It takes some getting used to.
Ned certainly knows what it's like to get used to being dead. People keep saying that, but it doesn't make me feel any better.
I understand.
Do you?
I reckon as much as anyone can, yeah.
Right.
Hey, what's avo toast actually taste like?
Huh?
I've never had it.
Can't you go out and just eat some? I'm sure Maddy could whip it up if you asked.
Avocados are a highly malevolent fruit. Don't trust them one bit. Plus, I've got this whole situation.
Oh, so that's what the straw was for.
You got it. So, what does it taste like?
I don't know, like avocado and toasted bread? Avocado's kind of cold and mushy, but it's got a good taste.
Like peas.
Definitely better than mushy peas.
Is he an idol?
He might be. He might be. He can't eat.
I love me a bowl of peas, mate.
One famous Australian outlaw requested peas with a bottle of wine for his last meal before he was hanged. Would that be Ned Kelly, perhaps? What? Because they're the only thing you can eat through a straw.
Watch yourself.
You gonna zap me with your death council powers? Oh god, will you?
First off, it's the Council of Death, not a death council. They're totally different things. Second, you really think that's what we do? Walk around shooting lightning out of our fingers?
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds a bit silly, yeah.
We don't do anything like that. We just keep things running smoothly is all. Harassing cafe owners to settle their time debt isn't something we like to do often.
So you just keep the peace. It comes from our dicks, oh god. Violent wand.
As fucking ironic as that sounds, yeah, Ned keeps the peace.
Oh no, who is that? Is that actually him saying that?
Yes, Ned keeps the peace.
Dude.
I know. Want another?
I wasn't expecting him to refer in third person because they went for a long shot. I thought we were actually about to have someone else enter frame. Sure. Speaking of entering frame.
I love the sunrises here.
They're alright.
You watch many sunrises, Ned?
Not enough, no. Even semi-immortals need their sleep.
Liminal space tends to draw liminal people. Semi-immortal. I'm a liminal person. Yes, the cigarette said smoking kills. Or at least something very close to that. I caught the kills part of it. I'm assuming smoking was the other half of that equation.
Hey Reaper, how's it going? I just like to sit here and watch it. Even when it's cloudy or raining, there's just something about watching the sunrise that makes it easier to deal with the coming day.
Feeling optimistic all of a sudden?
Nope, I still feel like shit.
Huh.
How about you, Kishan? Kishan?
I don't feel great. I'm still having a lot of trouble, You guys, I'm dead. I've only got a couple hours left before I have to go, and I don't think that anyone here really properly understands what it's like to see your last sunrise ever with any idea of what comes next, and that is really fucking terrifying! I'm never gonna see my friends or my boyfriend or my family again. I'm just gonna pass on. I'll never know how they'll remember me or mourn me, or if I'm even gonna be remembered as a good dude who tried his best. I'm just gonna be forgotten in a year. But that good dude who tried his best couldn't even win a friggin' game of five-finger fillet in the basement of a cafe that basically sits on the banks of the river Styx as far as I can tell, and God, I can't even tell if that matters. Were the stakes low? High? I can't tell. I'm so disoriented. I'm trying so desperately to feel something, but all I feel is that I'm slipping away with every second. I'm losing myself by degrees, and that's incredibly scary, and I don't know how to deal with it. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, fair cop. I actually came out to apologize for that. The game.
Oh, for God's sake, Maddy, have you been gambling again?
Can it, Ned? Kishan, I shouldn't have taken that time from you.
You took it fair and square.
I don't feel like I did, so I'm giving it back. Believe me, I'm surprised as you are. I don't usually do this.
What's different this time?
That's my business.
I can't believe you're still swindling people out of hours to try and fix your debt.
Dude, I know.
It's bloody undignified. And it's a clear violation of the rules.
I will banish you right now, my man.
I thought you'd stop pulling that crap once you took ownership of the cafe from Shay. You really think that doing this is going to help you pay the debt?
Yes, absolutely. And if you've got any bright ideas on how to do it otherwise, I'm all ears.
Okay. I like that she got in his face by getting on the bench. Ugh. We should have never granted you and Shay those licenses to practice. The actions of reckless necromancers make pretty good cases for the importance of occupational licensing. Short Queen energy? Yeah, I love that she not only got on it to go eye to eye, but so she could loom while going eye to eye. Also, where'd Kishan go? You've obviously failed to be responsible with them.
You really think we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have licenses, Bushman? Given your history, the hypocrisy on display here is astounding.
That's all behind me, and you know it. I've been working on doing some good for the last 100 years.
With the council? Really?
Yes, we maintain the balance. You know why that's important.
Sure do. I don't need you moralizing at me from your ivory tower.
Oh, give it a rest, guys.
But
I'm pulling the last day on Earth card. Quit it.
I'll be inside. Come find me when you want those hours back, Kishan.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry about all of this. I've never been to the other side. I was too afraid to leave, walk the land for decades evading the council. That's a crime they call revenancy, staying too long and upsetting the balance. Huh, so, okay. Which then made me wonder, how's Che been here so long? But in lieu of booting me straight to the next place or some sort of eternal punishment, the council offered me a job. The next place. Ned may have forgotten some of the sins of his past, but he's pretty sure he won't be going to heaven. Sorry, that's all stuff you don't care about, I suppose. Oh, it's interesting enough. I'm just filling up empty air. You should head inside and grab those hours back. Truth be told, I'm not feeling especially fond of Maddy right now. She might have been dishonest with you, but even I can tell she's at the end of her rope. And you might not be able to see it yet, but I think the people in there are fond of you. You think so? Maddy wouldn't have offered the hours back if there wasn't something different about you. Plus, the kid actually seems to like you, yeah? I guess. She kinda just dragged me off and got me to hold screwdrivers for her. And trust me, she thinks you're great. Go on, go inside and say hi. I've got some business to go stick my nose into anyway. Alright. Catch you in a bit. I got some questions about the council. Of course, I won't be out for long. Yeah, I kind of don't hate Ned right now, which is weird, but that's the thing about well, that's the thing about white collar villainy, right? It's entirely a matter of perspective. Because you've been viewing most things from the point of view of Maddy, Ned's role is functionally a villain. He represents a threat to the person we've followed for more of the story. Apparently I'm very thirsty today. But, now that we're seeing a slightly different perspective on Ned, he really is just trying to do his job, and there are problems here. Plus he's being nice to the guy who's clearly having a breakdown. Puts him in a different perspective. Later, mate. Actually, that was probably Kishan.
Hey,
Yo.
you want those hours back?
Yeah, I guess so. It's only 4 hours. I don't think it'll make much difference.
If it's okay, I'd prefer that you have them. Ashley's been enjoying having you around.
Just Ashley.
And me too, I guess.
You seem pretty reluctant to admit that, my dude.
Don't psychoanalyze me. Sit still for a minute.
Hey, Groovy Dance, how's it going? Missed the first hour. You missed us playing a five-finger fillet. Kishan went up against Maddy, lost, and it cost him 4 hours of his remaining time. Apparently that is how she gambles here. Apparently no one can beat her. Except Che. But Che won't gamble.
Alright, lay your hand on mine and place your index finger on my wrist.
Is this a part of your ritual or just an excuse to hold hands?
Shut up. Thanks. Watch carefully no matter what you do. Don't move your hand. There's usually a binding spell I use to make sure that doesn't happen, but I've run out of the reagents required and... you probably don't care about that.
True.
Alright, yep. I give this time freely and without coercion. As above, so below, I maintain the balance.
Ow.
I maintain the balance. That's it. How do you feel?
I actually feel better. I feel less itchy.
Yeah, we weren't kidding about that yesterday. As you linger, you begin to upset the balance, and as I understand, it doesn't feel good.
God, imagine how itchy Ned would have been then. If he had evaded the council for years after that 24-hour time was up. Ugh. Imagine what that felt like. Hell, Che, I'm really curious how he's around. Well, actually, you know what? I realize we made a certain assumption with Che that actually might not be accurate. He gave his age, right? We know he's over 200. He also mentioned that, at one point he was basically prospecting. Everyone was digging. Who says he's dead? It's the year 3035. there could have been another gold rush since then, and God only knows what's happened to lifespans, right? So even at 200, he still have been born 800 years after now. So, yeah, there's actually really no reason to assume that Che's actually dead. If you took this as taking place in 2025, yes, that would make sense. But since they pegged it at like 3035, that throws a lot of rules out the window for the assumption. Right, yeah. Why does Ned get to stick around then? Does he just ignore it?
Council are a special case. They're more similar to demigods or demons than they are to us.
That's fascinating.
Tell me about it. I'd have joined ages ago, but they're uptight dicks.
They don't seem so bad to me.
That's because you're not running into any of their ridiculous rules. Bunch of bloody regulations on manipulating life force and certain standards on the treatment of spirits.
There's got to be a more inclusive term than human rights for all the not quite human entities that are floating around. Standards. Is that why you gave me the hours back? Because Ned realized you broke the rules?
No, that was all within the guidelines despite his blustering. I gave them back because I felt bad, that's all.
Oh, neat, so you pity me. I love that. I'm actually really into it.
No, dude, it's not like that at all.
No, you don't need to clarify, I get it.
Seriously.
Last day on Earth. Moving on.
Fine, sure. I'm sorry. Sorry, I gotta serve this customer.
I'll help.
Really, it's probably not a two-person job.
Sometimes two people working a task will be less efficient than one. Sometimes Kishan doesn't care. Yep. Come on. Day 2, 6 p.m., the terminal. Oh, anything else that needs doing?
Now I'm gonna take this tray of glasses into the kitchen. You can go chill for a bit.
I'll take them. You need a break.
Sure.
Where's the kitchen?
That way. You'll find it eventually.
Oh god, is this... That's right, there's the two halls to the kitchen. One is long, and the other one is sometimes there. Zane, what's up, man? Cool, back in a minute. If you can find it.
Huh.
Oh boy. Your pawns are nothing compared to the raw power of my castles. Rook and Castle both offer protection for the defending team, but Rook seems to be more popular. Nothing.
Oh yeah? What is this then?
No, my castle. Brought low by my own hubris.
No, it was just a pawn. And maybe a little bit of hubris.
When Chasey's actually thriving, it's hard for him to feel like he's doing the wrong thing. Maybe that makes him overconfident. Maybe it makes him just the right of confidence. Right amount.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad, Satan. I'm surviving. I'm tired. Man, I want some dedicated time to just sit down and work on my own project.
Bishop. Knight.
No.
You're at the castle and check.
Check, you say.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
You activated my trap card. Oh, hey, Maddy, come check this out.
Huh.
I tricked him into a false sense of security.
Oh man, that's embarrassing. You seriously let her outmaneuver you that hard?
Yes. I'm very ashamed. I suppose the real hubris was inside me all along.
I friggin' love winning. I should try doing this more often.
A chance to win at chess.
That look.
Could grow into a big winning streak, you know?
You want to play something with us?
I should really head back down to the bar. There's nobody there.
Come on, take a load off. If anyone really needs you, they will know where to find you.
How about I grab us all a drink, make sure that nobody's waiting down there, and then we play something. I'll be 5 minutes.
You actually gonna come back this time? You never come back.
I'll come back. Promise. Why don't you pick out a game while I'm gone?
Now let us find something, Ashley. What do you feel like playing today?
Something, something with lots of dice. The past tense of die is died. The plural of die is dice.
Dice it is. We'll see you in a minute, Maddy.
Day 2, 6:15, Ashley's workshop. What the shit? Unsure if aquarium or weird portal. I don't know what they're playing. Oh, hey, a good look at her arm. They did mention that if she had to wash the dishes by hand, she'd corrode. So one of her arms mechanical. And that's why the 4th season of Row Battle Royale was absolutely brutal. Oh, it was an absolute betrayal.
Well, you still want to be on it one day.
Well, yeah. Unless an indie circuit opens up.
Like in wrestling.
Exactly like in wrestling. Melbourne's got a local show. I want something like that.
You could probably put your own local league together if you worked really hard.
Perhaps you could build the robots and get people to battle them.
Human-controlled robots are boring, though. And I want to get more of the spirit juice and put together a bigger Ashling. Veteran necromancers will advise the spirit juice is not something you play around with. Masters know that playing around is the best way to learn. This is not untrue.
How big?
I think I'll start at car size, then move on to more of a bus-adjacent form factor.
I'm not sure we have enough to power one of those. You'd have to get Maddy to source you a large amount of it. We'd need liters of it at least.
What have you done? That'd be super cool. Didn't you say it was illegal, though?
Well, technically. But what Ned doesn't know will not hurt him.
Yeah, words Maddy lives by.
He would lose his head if he knew half the things we were doing around here.
I don't know, he seems fairly lenient with you, right?
He was not always like that. A long time before you turned up, he nearly shut me down because would you believe it is because I sheltered a criminal?
Ned nearly shut you down because of that.
Hey Luna, good morning, and yes, in the afterlife you desperately still need coffee. In fact, it's the only thing keeping you from being full dead. Or at least the only thing keeping me from being full dead. The pawns on the border, Loveless, Beth, and Ned. Huh. How do you recognize Beth?
Oh, trust me, the irony was apparent. I found it very, very funny.
What sort of criminal were they?
I'm just a minor demon on the run.
Most demons aren't lucky enough to find themselves as welcoming as Che, especially the ones that haven't had a chance to make a name for themselves.
I do not know what she did to get a price on her head. I just took her in when she stumbled through the door, dripping blood everywhere.
That's metal.
It was extremely metal.
How long did you manage to hide her for?
No, not too long. Maybe 6 weeks. The time flew by, if I'm being honest.
Why's that? Was she from the clock realm?
No, nothing like that. We, bonded.
Magically? How'd you do that? And then I heard you telling Maddy that sort of thing was impossible between beings in this plane.
No, not magically. Maybe tragically, but, we were, lovers.
Ew.
Yuck. Ew.
Happier days.
I love hearing about when you were young and reckless.
Gosh, what do you think I am now, huh? Old and boring?
And definitely old.
Despite myself, I must say you're definitely not boring.
There's that patented Maddy charm.
Oh, you know me, I'm full of them.
Oh yeah. Charms. Hexes. Curses.
That's all on your account, old man.
I will not deny it.
Oh man, I feel like I need to stretch my spine so hard everything just pops. Must be having posture issues lately. Hey Maddy.
Hey dude, having trouble finding the kitchen?
Yeah, I couldn't. I checked everywhere.
It's just behind the bar, man, you can't miss it.
Yeah, I told you I checked everywhere.
Ah, you're not catching my drift. It's just behind the bar. You can't miss it. Have another look. It'll be there this time. Sometimes you gotta remind the quantum hallways that they exist.
Oh, fine.
How long are we going to keep him here, Maddy?
Oh, we're keeping him?
Oh, we're not keeping him. Gonna let him stay as long as he wants. He'll leave on his own accord at some point.
You feel sorry for him?
Weirdly, yes. I don't usually get attached to customers, but he's a good dude.
I like him.
Do you like him because he is nice, or because he was good at passing your tools over?
Yes.
Don't get too attached. He's not gonna be here forever.
Well, duh. I know how it works. I'm gonna enjoy having him around, just like you taught me. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
Ashley, that's from the motivational calendar I threw out last week. I never said that.
Yeah, same. I'm used to people moving on, is the point. I can deal with it.
Good.
6:30 p.m. He's back. And it's Maddy off the turnbuckle. Seriously, just people's elbow off the second story onto him. Oh. Fuck.
Huh.
Just throwing the Is this why we're running out of cutlery and shit? Just throwing the shit at Ned whenever he shows up? Are you gonna keep staring at the coffee stain or no? Yes. Okay, whatever. What do you want from this conversation? I'm an open book as far as matters of life and death are concerned. Yeah, I don't want to go. You know, you probably heard this from, I don't know, 1,000 people or whatever. Given the amount of traffic the terminal gets and how long it's been open, 1,000 people is a pretty low estimate. Uh-huh. It's not about staying around for people or wanting to go back to my old life. As wonderful and not stressful as that sounds. Like, I'm not afraid of what lies on the other side. I don't think there's any point to worrying about it until I'm there. I just don't think I've spent enough time here.
The cafe?
No. All this, I guess you'd call it this plane?
Roughly speaking, I suppose so.
I want to know what you did to be able to stay.
Sure. Did Maddy give you those hours back?
Yeah, why?
Well, that's a way. You can just find enough hours to stay as a spirit, half there, half gone. But it's a wretched existence. I wouldn't want to live like that.
How would you find the hours, though? There's only so many you can get from consenting beings, right?
The crappy psychology of gambling aside, you're right, yes. So the question is, how do you do that? How do you create life from nothing? The answer is that you can't, Kishan. It's impossible. There's always got to be some sort of balance maintained. Everyone who learns to manipulate the fundamental life forces understands that, no matter whether they're doing good or bad things with their skills. Here's the thing, though. You don't need both parties to agree. It's just a social nicety, something that separates us from, well, people who don't do that. That's where the idea of vampires came from, for example. Those bastards. They're not special or anything, they're just dickheads. Anyway, if you can take a life force from people, you can also drain it from animals or plants.
Is this why we don't have more plants here? Did we used to have more plants?
But in this business, there's a lot we don't or can't understand. One of the things we can't understand is why life force from animals and plants is tainted. It feels gross. And if it didn't, everyone would take it, consequences be damned. How were you feeling today before Maddy took the hours back?
I felt like I was slipping away. Like my mind was really foggy. It's scary to run when it's foggy. You don't know what you might be running toward. It was really hard to think or put sentences together. Nobody really noticed, though.
Typical. Imagine that, but 10 times worse. You're foggy, but there's also something fundamentally wrong. Like your collection of puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together. Like an engine that's running out of oil.
That sounds horrifying.
Right.
So, should I do it?
Probably not.
How would I stay otherwise?
Well, you can always go on the lam, just run for it.
But you'd catch me.
Not me personally, but yes, the council would eventually.
And that's it. That's my only option.
Perhaps. It depends on how you feel about bonding your soul for eternity to a fundamentally neutral arbiter of justice.
The downside of neutral arbiters is that they're never on your side. I have no strong feelings about it one way or another.
Smartass.
Tell my wife I said hello.
Would you regret it if you stayed here forever instead of moving on?
I don't know. I guess that'd be up to me, right?
How do you mean?
In the end, how I feel about taking a big branch of my life is just a matter of how I frame it. I can focus on what I'll regret, sure, but it's not a useful way to spend my time. If I focus on the future, on everything that's in the possibility space instead of outside of it, it's probably better for me, yeah?
Sure.
You don't sound convinced.
I'm just ambivalent on it. I try not to think about anything too hard these days. But if you're willing to accept eternal bondage with the council, I can keep you here. It's not easy work, though. You have to act in the best interest of the system, not its individual parts. Bureaucracy at its finest.
How did you learn to deal with it?
Just took some time. When you're used to it, you learn not to think too hard about what you're doing. As long as you take a holistic view of everything, things generally shake out all right. We tend to only bother the biggest rule breakers anyway.
Maddy being one of them?
Ugh, habitually. She wouldn't be getting so much leeway if it weren't for Che.
I don't understand that guy. He's nice, we've chatted a bit, but what makes him so special? He's provided services in the past. I can count on one hand the number of people who know as much about the manipulation of life force as he does. He's been researching it for over 100 years. Damn, a lot has changed since the days when Che was a young man. No way, he's that old? He looks like 60 max. Yep, much older than that. 60 max? Jesus, I would have pegged him at like, even like maybe 40? Dude does not look 60? God damn. Kishan must be really young. Oh, Toa, I see you there. Your sacrifice is appreciated. To the chair you go. Wild. We're getting sidetracked, though. How do you feel about joining the council? I don't hand out offers willy-nilly, you know. I'm interested, but can I have some time to think about it? How much time do you have? You've been out for nearly 25 hours. Oh no, he said nearly. Oh, wait, what? You're overdue. Put it on Maddy's tab. Okay. I assume you're not going to stick around forever? Unlikely, if the next few hours are anything like how I felt this morning. I'll stick around until you have a solid answer then. Hey, Kingrahe. Love when surfaces come with ellipses because it means they can do anything. Quote caffeine, hooray, giant zero. Alrighty then. So actually, while I'm rolling through this here, I got a question for you, chat. So, I'm looking forward to Season 4, and I kind of feel like it's sort of a non-question that the Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster pretty much got a headline. I am an enormous fan of the game. I've talked it up many times over the years. I think we've streamed through it once or twice in the past. Like, I've got to cover it. But I'm not sure what else I want to do that season because we've got like a new Atelier game drops right before the season starts. The remake of Trails in the Sky drops right before the season starts. There's a bunch of shit lining up. Like, man, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're not lacking for options, but we got too damn many. You know, there's also the possibility of annual Ereshka. I considered tactics-style games Ring Song. I was originally going to do Tactics, or Final Fantasy Tactics and XCOM 2, War of the Chosen again. And then I saw some of the other stuff lining up, like right at the end of September. It's like, fuck. There's really good options I think I got to include. But I'm not sure which way to go on all that. There's too many good choices right now. Cool. I want to get drunk? We're already drinking, mate. Nah, Che told me about something pretty special he's got behind the bar. Unless it's something really special, he's probably offered me some. And even then... So you've tried the... Bottled Soul? Is this a thing Ned should know about? I feel like this is a thing Ned should not know about. Are you pulling my leg? Nope. You have got to be mistaken. You haven't seen it in person, have you? Yeah, I actually have seen it. That is quite illegal. I expected better from him. Damn it. So, we're gonna drink it or not? Council regulations require me to confiscate it or force the owner to dispose of it. Ned doesn't steal anymore, he just seizes assets. It's a completely different thing. So we'd be doing him a favor then. I suppose. Come on, dude. Jay said it'd knock you flat. When you say you, do you mean me or you, or just anyone who drinks it? Anyone. It's like 200% alcohol or something. That's not technically possible, but I'll admit my interest is piqued. Hazard, what's up? Well, let's not waste any time. Dude, what? He hasn't... Oh my god. Okay. Kishan's ballsier than I thought. Charlie wants you to do the Trails remake. Really enjoyed the Sky games. Yeah, you know, honestly, right before that got announced, I was talking to a friend about where to actually start, and I had a copy of that for years and never actually played it. And like within a week of talking to them about where to start, they announced the remake, and I was like, well, fuck it. I guess I'll just wait and start there. Is there a list of my options in Discord? Not at the moment, no. Mostly because we're, you know, barely into season 3, so I've been thinking ahead, but I have not been posting anything about it. Damn it. This was a setup, wasn't it? Basically. You in? Fine. Oh, this looks deadly. Good thing dead people can't get alcohol poisoning. Aye. To bureaucracy. To bureaucracy. So, gonna find out that you can actually die of alcohol poisoning, aren't we? Kishan's grown on me a lot. Kishan, yeah, dude, I like him. He's a good lens to experience a lot of this through, I think. He's not what I would call a strong personality, which means you get a kind of a clear lens. But he has enough personality to not be like, you know, boring, no-voice protagonist kind of deal. He's not quite a doormat, but he's not much elevated above it. He's a peon, not a minion.
Yo.
Your order's arrived.
3 days late, mate.
I have no idea who this is going to be, so we'll figure them out later. It got held up by a mutual acquaintance of ours.
Ah, shit. I'll explain why he's in my hair. I'll be there in half an hour.
Kishan's definitely got more to him now that he's gotten a bit past the whole holy fuck I'm dead thing. Oh, yep. Finding out he was actually good at five-finger fillet was nice. The catabasis is considered to be a vital part of the hero's narrative. Every hero goes to hell at some point, and the stories usually come back, which is the bit that seems weird to me. I don't think that's how it works in real life. Cafes had a bunch of heroes come through claiming they were going to conquer hell and come back. They never returned as far as I saw. The idea of catabasis is that in the grand scheme of things, hell or the underworld or Hades or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, it's on the outside of wherever we are. Like we're trapped inside this sphere and we'll leave it to go to hell. Did the ancient Greeks ever consider that maybe we've been on the outside the whole time just waiting to get in? Maybe they did. Matter of perspective. I guess I'll ask one sometime if I ever meet one. Well, perhaps we're just waiting our entire lives for this. To pass through the firmament to the next place. To be driftwood, wash it up on the shore, whatever that next place actually is. Seems weird, but maybe that's what we're naturally meant to be. I'm thinking it's possible this world isn't some sort of proving ground or anything. Maybe it's just a waiting room. A beautiful, flawed, complex waiting room. Personally, I don't think there's anything quite like, or anything like heaven or hell waiting for us. No judgment neither. The world doesn't ever operate in binaries or absolutes. That's just flawed human thinking projected onto things that are much, much more complex than they can ever perceive. And I don't think that what's waiting on the other side is even something we can conceptualize. But I bet it's cool. It's a shame it's a one-way trip, though. Philosophies from Beer Bottle Bot. Oh, we're going to be stuck in somewhere between story bits again, aren't we? I don't blame you. Maybe one day soon I'll be able to stop blaming myself too. Now speak to Tuan and Hana to experience the side story walking to the sky. Oh, that's part of the final pour. I'm assuming this is the one we're going to have to do in order to get back inside. Teenage boy approached the counter. Shoulders slumped forward, head down, eyes on the ground up until the moment he looked up to order a drink. He was old enough that he could have passed for a young adult with a better presentation, but the posture coupled with the oversized backpack he was wearing were a dead giveaway. Irrespective of his age, he was still just a kid. No voice for you then, kid. I can get a normal read. I got plenty of voices to do in this. Can I get a Coke? An order befitting of a kid.
Yeah, I think we can manage that, said Maddy.
Think fast, said Jay. Maddy turned around just in time to see an aluminum can hurtling toward her. She almost caught it. The can rolled back toward Che, who scooped it off the floor. He hesitated a moment before setting it on the counter.
No ice, right?
Said Che. The boy nodded. No. Or, yeah. Yes to no ice. Che cracked open the can and poured it into a waiting glass, which he then slid down the counter, pushing it gently enough that it came to rest in front of the teenage boy. The boy grabbed the glass. Thanks, he said. He glanced around the room.
I'm looking for a place to sit. There should be plenty of seats upstairs.
The boy nodded and headed for the stairs, drink in hand.
Plenty of seats down here too,
Said Maddy, turning to Che.
Yeah, said Jay. I think upstairs is more Tuan space.
Why'd you just call him?
Tuan.
Said Che.
People have names, you know.
That's the problem with having regulars, said Maddy. People expect you to remember their names. Well, now that I think about it, Tuan probably wouldn't mind finding out that you don't know his name.
Oh.
Tuan probably wouldn't mind finding out you don't know his name. Can't have your name on Maddy's shit list if she doesn't know it.
Should he be on my shit list?
Said Maddy.
Nah, he's harmless.
Said Che.
Maybe a bit susceptible to peer pressure, but I think that's why it comes here.
To me with peers.
To meet people who aren't his peers.
Said Che.
How many glum teenagers do you see around here?
Too many,
Said Maddy.
Maybe not enough.
Said Che.
Please tell me you don't actually mean that.
Said Maddy.
Teenagers have the highest noise to spending ratio of any demographic.
Noise to spending ratio.
Not the glum ones.
Said Che.
If I were a glum teenager trying to find my place in the world and trying to carve out an identity for myself, I could imagine the worst place to do it than right here.
Teenagers can go be glum somewhere else. Whatever happened to proper teenage delinquency?
And careful what you wish for.
Said Che.
We have been mercifully delinquent-free for quite a while now.
I don't know. You've got Maddy.
Proper teen delinquents don't loiter in coffee shops. They set things on fire, spray paint alleyways, and stay out past curfew.
Does the city have a curfew for minors?
It should. Teens need to be able to break rules, and all the better committing acts of vandalism at 11 p.m. gives them a 2-for-1.
Maybe they should avoid delinquency and just stick to general mischief.
Oh no. We already have plenty of mischief around here ever since Ashley set up shop.
Oh, got it. Next time I see Tuan, I will tell him he needs to be committing more crimes.
What do you do if he actually takes your advice?
He won't. Peer pressure only works if it is from up here. Someone of my age telling him he will be cool if he starts swiping liquor will not do much to assure him that becoming a thief is a ticket to popularity and acceptance.
So find another teenager to tell him.
I will keep my eye out.
I'm curious what studio mode is. Is this gonna be like a screen cap sort of thing, or? I would have skipped it because the side stuff doesn't normally interest me at all, but doodle mode turned out to be so funny I had to see what this is too. Whatever it is, it's apparently fairly hefty. Oh, the 100% is a lie. Unless it's 100% waiting. I'm now 100% waiting. Okay, so studio mode is the kill switch. Duly noted. Not gonna touch that again. I needed to 100% my weight harder. I apologize. And this is actually, I'm surprised this passes CERT, because this is a fairly long load that does not actually have a load indicator anywhere. I'm not covering one up. And normally that would fail CERT. Now, the question is, where the fuck is that going to put me? Also, I have a feeling this will take 3 days to get through, so I might schedule one day next week, and then we'll start No Sleep for Konami Date the day after. Unless we accidentally Rido this and it turns out we just blow through the rest of the game in like no time, but given that it's pretty much all text to me voicing, I have a feeling it's going to wind up running a little bit longer. Alright, Kishan crashes the game, so we're going to stay away from him. It's been a very interesting game visually. I'm curious to see where it ultimately goes. Because right now it's almost vibing Slice of Undead Life. The only real large-scale conflict we kind of have in view is the debt. Day 2, 8:15 p.m. outside the terminal.
Ugh. I don't have the energy for this.
Oops, I should have... Wait, hang on. Can I go back? Maddy's been running on empty for several days now. Oh god, don't we feel that. Oh, thank you for clipping that, Claymore. Or the PS4 PC version of the game more stable? If there was a PS4 version, I would be playing that and not the Switch version, but there is not.
Especially with everyone watching me. I hope we packed enough conductors. Our order form was pretty vague. I shouldn't be worrying about the conductors, but I'm not even sure I can pull the whole thing off without some sort of major screw-up happening. The supplier knew what I wanted the conductors for anyway, so I would have packed enough.
A good supplier knows enough about their clients to anticipate their needs. There's a certain amount of nosiness that is polite, after all.
He knows that I've got Ashley helping me.
Given that, that's gotta be, helping you with what, Madeline?
Piss off, Ned.
Rude. Oh, good lord, just lurking behind me. You should respect your elders, you know. Ned is not a young man, even by the standards of semi-mortals.
God, listen to you. Council made you soft, didn't it? Oh, respect your elders. Follow all our totally arbitrary rules or we'll make up some cheap reason to destroy your business. My name's Ned and I love rules.
Are you done?
Yep.
Cool.
You sound wounded.
Steel chestplate can save you from a bleeding heart, but not a bruised ego. You should be nicer.
Ah, sick comeback. What was it that guy you killed said? Oh Christ, I am shot. Oh no, woe is me. There's a little throwback humor for you. Did I strike a nerve?
Did you just...
Did I just what?
Maddy. When Ned next spoke, it was in a deep, dark cadence steeped in guilt and self-loathing. If Maddy had been able to see his eyes, she would have faced a withering glare. We are rapidly reaching a point of no return. I can no longer promise to shield you from the consequences of your actions. What you did just there, quoting one of my victim's dying words at me, that was low. Even for you. Frankly, I'm disgusted. You dare to poke at my guilt? You dare. Let's talk about guilt, shall we? I don't suppose you might have anything weighing on your conscience right now, would you? As I thought. They may still weigh heavily on me, but I am absolved of my sins. Some moral debts take a lifetime to work off. Ned's had more than a few lifetimes. I've had 100 years to process that and to redeem myself through my actions. Your sins are fresh. There are lance marks on your soul, deep cuts in your aura. Swallow your arrogance, novice. I know what you did. Maddy's sins weigh heavy on Ned's mind. They weigh even heavier on hers. What did we do last summer? And I can't wait to see how you plan to make this right. Episode 5, Rainy Moods. Day 2, 8:30 p.m. in the terminal. I seem to have a sort of control. I'm curious what I have like limited camera control right now. Ton, age 16. Thinks he's smart. Not antisocial, just shy. Read a bunch of Wikipedia articles on optometry and considers himself somewhat of an expert. And Hannah, age 16. Knows she's too smart for her own good. Hobbies people watching. Self-indulgent teenage angst. Taking advantage of the fact that she's too smart for her own good. Okay. Well, apparently, I'm gonna need to add a couple voices here. So, what voice are we doing? Wait, hang on. We don't need a voice for Tuan, do we? I feel like this is the smirking silhouette from the basement. Which means we already gave them a voice. I believe that would make... I have him marked in the list as just Smirk. I believe that would make him Smirk as Tuan and therefore Ozma. I don't think we settled a voice for Hannah back then, though. Because now the voice list has been updated enough that, yeah, we must have just missed her in that. Yes, this is episode 5 of 9. So what voice shall we give Hannah? Valley? Hannah Popo? Oh, she is too smart for her own good. Yeah, you know what? I think I might actually be good with that. I kind of wonder, is there going to be anyone better for that? I think Popo could be fun. Popo and Ozma have joined the crew. So I'm not sure that alcohol actually makes you feel anything. In fact, going by its chemical properties, I'd say it's the opposite. Shut up,
dork. We're planning a heist. Metaphysical debates about alcohol can come after.
No, but this isn't metaphysics. I'm just talking about simple chemical interactions with our brains. Tuan's a guy who has the look of someone who knows more about chemical interactions than human interaction. Please take the energy you're putting into pedantry and redirect it towards the plan. I'm just too busy with physical shenanigans to have time for verbal shenanigans. The plan?
The plan?
What's the plan?
I was thinking I could just reach over the bar and grab the first bottle I see.
Huh. Sounds risky. Very chaotic neutral.
Now what's your alignment then?
Oh, good God. If we assume standard arrangement of... Oh, Lord. If we were assuming standard arrangement, Maddy is chaotic neutral, and Ashley's chaotic evil. Apparently lawful neutral is Ned. That makes a lot of sense, actually. There are definitely some silhouettes there we don't know. Fucking Ashley's chaotic evil, what the shit. Yeah, Ned, totally lawful neutral. Sorry, I should say neutral evil. For, yeah, neutral evil. Maddy's neutral evil. Chaotic, oh my god. You know, I would have said maybe Ashley's chaotic neutral or something, but no, apparently she's chaotic evil. You gotta keep an eye on that one. For future reference. Neutral good?
Uh-huh.
I'd say I was lawful neutral, but...
That's the coward's option.
Yeah. But getting back to the plan. Oh.
Using your own pedantry to distract you was absolutely part of the plan.
Wow. So little faith in me.
Gotta minimize liabilities here.
Hannah's still learning to trust this guy. Doesn't have the look of an interloper, but you can never be too safe.
You're out here playing checkers while I'm playing 6-dimensional upside-down laser chess.
Jesus Christ. Oh, shit.
I've galaxy-brained this, and now I'm holding the fruits of my labor.
You've also stood around announcing it. Don't you mean our labor?
If you insist.
Give me a closer look at that. What sort of fruit do we pluck from the booze tree?
Really stretching that metaphor out, huh?
Yep. I don't recognize the language on the label.
What? Let me look. What the hell?
Huh?
I don't recognize it either.
Maybe it's a cipher? A cipher. A cider is made from fermented apple juice. A cipher is made from fermented word juice. Sure, we'll go with that. Did they grab the bottle of soul? I'm fucking wondering, honestly.
Who would make a cipher just to know what they're drinking?
A sadist? Oh, we could ask Maddy what it is. She's a sadist, right? What do you call someone who enjoys the empathic pain they feel from hurting others? Well, if you're enjoying the pain you feel from hurting others, that would make you a masochist. Ish. The pain other people feel makes you a sadist. The pain you yourself feel, that's a weird one.
Yeah, that idea sounds great.
Let's go find her then.
Apart from the fact that we specifically nicked it from her.
Oh, right.
You're meant to be the lawful one here, dude.
We agreed on neutral good.
Me not challenging your assertion does not make it an agreement.
Regardless.
Wait, hold on. I sense a dark presence. Do you feel it?
No, I don't feel anything particularly spooky in the air.
Yeah, me neither. Sup, bitches.
Oh god, the bottle.
Hello, children. I see you've stooped to petty thievery.
Some of the bottles on the shelf are old enough that swiping them would be an act of grand theft. Not this one, however. Tried playing a neutral good character once, didn't work out. Made like 2 sessions before I decided they were actually chaotic good. I find most players, despite their best efforts, wind up relatively chaotic. I am particularly proud of having managed to actually run some not chaotic characters. Enjoy your sign, smug, and emotes, Very. Shoot, Veronik? How do I pronounce that? Regular go-to is lawful neutral. Lawful neutral is the coward's option. They're absolutely correct about that. I say that because it's the one where you can most get away with, I have a personal code, which is bullshit. So yeah, lawful neutral is the coward's option. You stand corrected. I know, it's hard not to see NYC and not think of it being NYC, right? Lawful neutral is the easiest way to play a monk? Absolutely, yes. Alas, sprung. Well, Veronik, enjoy your sign, smug, and emotes. Nice timing. Can't believe my heist career was over so quickly. Lawful good is so... Man, honestly, I would like to take it upon myself to run a lawful good character in a campaign just to prove that you can do lawful good without being lawful fucking goody two-shoes. Which, admittedly, will always just make me think of Army of the Dead, so not the worst thing.
Ah, don't give up on your dreams, kid. Speaking of, you know what happens when you drink this?
I was assuming some sort of drunkenness. Does it make your teeth fall out?
Well, last time I had a shot of this, I woke up in Adelaide.
Wow. So the result was 700 kilometers worth of drunkenness and bad decisions. Drunkenness and bad decisions. Have you ever heard the talk about how neutral good is the scariest alignment? Nope, can't say I have. Now, to be fair, much like my name implies, I rarely ever give a shit about anyone else's opinion.
I woke up 6 hours before I took the shot. Had to drive a rented car back and explain to Jay why I disappeared without a trace and somehow accidentally time-traveled.
Holy shit, can we give it a try?
God, no. I heard of liquor licensing laws, I'd end up in jail.
I think it'd be an excellent formative experience. Yeah, if you're not perpetuating team drinking culture, you're a loser. And now I'm purple. Your longer running character is supposed to be chaotic neutral. End of the campaign, unless the spell that does not affect evil characters. Character got affected and was shocked and then voted for me to change your alignments. Oh. I have actually played with a reasonable chaotic neutral before. Not as damaging as you'd expect when played well. Yes, that is the law she cares about, randomist. Liquor licensing laws.
Somehow, I remain unconvinced by your passionate arguments.
Well, we tried.
Kids have way too much time in your hands, you know that?
Better than not having enough, right? I'm utilizing my time to practice my skills. It's not wasted.
Well, the non-existent industry sector that relies solely on the skill of reaching over bars and stealing bottles of enchanted booze is going to be lucky to have you.
Aw, that's so validating. Thanks.
Ugh. I get you to a coffee or something. Hot chocolate. Kinda busy tonight, but I'm hoping that bribing you with free drinks will stop you from nicking my shit.
I'll take a free drink. And I feel guilty taking one since it was all Tuan's idea. Hey, But I'll graciously accept your offer.
Nate, what'll it be?
Hot chocolates for both of us? Hot chocolates for both of us.
Alrighty, 2 hot chocolates coming up. Seriously, don't steal anything else while my back's turned or I'll feed you to my oh god, I'll feed you to a spite elemental.
A spite elemental. You know what? If you were gonna find one anywhere, a fucking coffee shop would be the place. I wonder.
Spite elemental.
Maybe it's a metaphor? Is she saying she'll eat us? Is she the spite elemental?
Oh no.
Maybe the real spite elementals were the friends we made along the way.
I hate this.
There. Who the hell do we have here? Holy shit. Apparently it's time for plot. This is Samantha, age 32. American? Visiting Melbourne for work. Devastatingly patient. Okay, alright. Gotta put her in the list. I know they said American, so I kind of want to give her the Valley one, but
One of us, by force or by choice.
oh, Anonymous, thank you for the 10 gift sub bomb. Much appreciated. Cheers, enjoy your mugs and moats, folks. Thank you so much for that. I'm thinking, do we have a smooth villainy voice like Carmen Sandiego? Honestly, I feel like the closest thing I have will actually be I probably want to go with the Russian, I think. Though the way she's looking at her nails, there's this brief moment. I kind of want to give her the Jeanette, but you know, I know that one will drive Luna completely insane, so I think we'll hold the Jeanette for a later date and something else. You know, when the horror has had time to wear off. Do Valley Russian? I'm not going to do Valley Russian. The Valley is different in Russia. It does not sound with the likes and the whatevs and the BT dubs. I'm just saying. We will give her the Russian. Trust me, you kids do not want to meet Spite Elemental. Have you? Yes. Got pretty close to not making it out alive. I guess you're in a fairly exciting line of work then. This woman's line of work might seem intriguing to someone looking from the outside, but to her, it's all business. It gets that way sometimes. But Spite Elementals aren't exciting. They're terrifying. They suck all air out of room and make world ache. And they do not die easy. Huh. That's kinda metal. You sure do need brass balls to face one down, it is for sure. And a steely gaze. What? Cause steel is a metal, and I said it was metal, and then you mentioned brass balls, so... Anna, please back me up. Nope, you brought this on yourself, mate. No, I didn't. No, she's totally right.
Ugh.
What's going on here? Are you bullying my customers, Samantha? Well, keep at it, because they didn't pay for anything, so they're not really customers.
Of course not.
Good, because that's my job.
Yep.
You two should go enjoy the evening. There's a nice breeze blowing.
What happened to the hot chocolate? You remembered my name. That is sweet. Sweet is not a word that people often use to describe Maddy. That's the kind of remark that says more about the person who's talking than the person they're talking about.
Of course I did. You're interesting.
Does that not describe everyone who walks through your door, though?
Absolutely not. Especially not in the way that you are.
Some people would take offense at that. Your boss must be very different to mine. Well, my old boss, I guess.
I'm my own boss now, actually.
Maddy thinks she can make it all on her own. She just might turn out to be right. Yeah, I don't know about that. Les, Harley Marie, what's up? How you doing this evening? Apologies. Your approach to hospitality work is very different from what I'm used to, is what I'm trying to say.
Figures. Where'd you work?
Just some dive bar overseas. Wretched hive of scum and villainy. Honor would never shut up about treating every client like royalty.
Sounds like a pain in the ass if you ask me.
I'm not asking actually, but I appreciate sentiment nonetheless.
So, can I get you anything?
Surprise me.
You'd like me to pick you something?
Duh.
I'd ask you a couple questions.
Are they related to the drink?
Yep.
Shoot.
Okay. What's your favorite white wine?
You're not making me one cocktail, are you?
No.
I'm partial to a glass of Marsanne every now and then.
Fancy. Next question. Have you ever read a star chart?
Like in astrology, yet.
Why?
I do not put stock in mysticism. This place is not mystical. It is built out of cold hard facts and dead people. To some people, this place seems otherworldly. For others, this is just the world they live in. Oh, hey! Previously, we got the keyword mythical, and it gave us this exact thing, and I pointed at the time that it said mystical, not mythical. I thought the typo was actually in the keyword, but no, it looks like it was actually linked to the wrong key, because this is the real mystical, and it's the exact same text. I just do not know them all yet.
Alright, fair enough. Last question. You're walking in the shallows of an ocean that seems to go into the distance forever. You can't see any land aside from the sand under your feet. Whenever you step forward, the sand sinks just a little bit. As far as you can see, there's no way to escape. Drowning is the only possible outcome. What do you do?
I feel like you're about to pull out the Void Kampf machine or something. It is obviously some sort of test. I run, I swim, I dive when I can. And if I eventually drown, so be it. There's nowhere else to go and no point in sitting and waiting for starvation or shock or someone to save me. I have to take action.
Interesting.
So what is verdict? Samantha didn't get a response. Maddy's eyes had glazed over as soon as she'd answered the last question. Now she stood perfectly still, gazing intently at the rows and rows of dusty bottles lining dustier shelves. No, we don't know what's going on with Kishan. The last we saw, he had toasted with the bottled freaking soul, and that's the last we saw of him. Her lips moved, but no words came out. As Samantha watched, a flask of red liquid twitched, seemingly of its own accord. Maddy craned her neck up at it and scowled. In response, a smaller bottle next to the first, and surely only big enough to hold a few drops of something, began to glow. Her scowl shifted to a wry smile. Please, you do not need to open anything new on my account.
Gotcha. Your answers were interesting.
Coming from some people, that might sound like a non-committal remark, but coming out of Maddy, it might be the most effusive praise you ever get. So, what are your questions? I'm still having a little trouble figuring out how they relate to each other, though.
Is that important?
I try to maintain vague hope that maybe one day things might make sense.
And until then,
I just try to go with the flow, of course.
sorry for trying to psychoanalyze you there.
Try. You think you failed?
Nope.
What is verdict then?
Well, for one, you tend to accept things as you see them. You don't try to interrupt things based off of unrelated frameworks or thought patterns. That said, you do try and make sense of the connections between things when you can.
Maddy's pretty sure she has all the pieces. She's found that putting all the pieces together requires a bit more effort.
But it's no big deal to you if you don't. You just mark it as an unknown variable and move on. And that reads to me as an intensely pragmatic approach. Would you agree?
I suppose.
You're the sort who doesn't buy drinks to enjoy them. You buy them as camouflage.
Your experience with pretending to be something you're not in order to blend in, you might develop a talent for recognizing when others are trying to do the same.
To hide your face behind, project a veneer of being untouchable while you watch.
Watch what?
Everything, I suppose. You take everything in the same way I do.
So you're saying that I am attentive, but that I don't worry about instantly understanding how things are interconnected.
Because you're confident that eventually you'll understand it anyway.
How do you figure that?
You've been watching my hands this whole time.
Is that weird? To watch an attractive bartender mixing a very fancy-looking cocktail. To appreciate a craft.
Nope. Given just how interested you are in what my hands are doing, I'd wish you've got some experience in my field.
So, are you just really bad at picking up when you're being flirted with, or... I was wondering if she was going to catch the watching a very attractive bartender bit. It is fine, sweetie. In fact, it is pretty cute.
I meant in alchemy. The field of alchemy.
Aha. I'm sure you're very accomplished in alchemy.
Just take the drink.
Shit, this is really good.
Yeah.
Too good to ignore, yeah. It's smoky but bittersweet, and it's the contrast of the bitters that really makes you appreciate the sweetness. Or is it the other way around? This game continues to be great. That was good. Well, this makes me feel like I'm reaching the end of something. Like I've got a lump in my throat from saying goodbye, but I can't quite tap into that feeling. Like, what did you even put in this?
Mezcal, artichoke bitters, cold heart bitters, and a slice of gorilla lime.
Gorilla lime. That cannot be a real thing.
It's just hard to acquire. Call that because if you bite into one, it feels like you got punched by a gorilla.
Physically.
Oh, emotionally.
Makes sense.
I'm not a wizard.
Prove it. I can't tell who's talking there. Someone's having an argument about being a wizard. Oh, it must have been Shag, damn it. That guy, the boss you mentioned?
Yeah.
He good to you?
I'm sorry.
Does he treat you well?
Yeah. To a fault, actually. Far past the point where it's rational for him to still be nice to me.
No one's ever accused old Che of being rational. Doesn't stop him from trying to be the voice of reason. Saturday. That's Saturday morning with Daimyo, or Friday night, whichever, wherever. Good.
Actually, I'm sorry. That reminds me. I have to dash. Got some setup work for a project to finish before the sun comes up.
Maddy rarely engages in careless shenanigans, so when she's up to something, you'd best be on your guard. But without you here, who will enable my latent alcoholism?
You can just reach over the bar and grab the gin. Tonic's in the bar fridge.
Will do. Come back soon, though. I would love to discuss alchemy with you some more.
Catch you later.
Oh, you poor oblivious girl. Oh, wait, one last thing. What was meaning behind the question about what wine I like?
Oh, I was just curious. That's the last one, I reckon.
Does it have the magic caps in it?
I think so. You can just call them caps, you know.
You're built for something different. I refuse to use non-specific language.
Yep, they're in here.
Okay, what about the, thing? That sounds super non-specific.
It'll have to be a little more.
Oh, you know, the thing. Sparky thing? Ashley likes having friends who can understand her even when she fails to be specific. Electric.
Sweetie, how long have you been awake?
It's better for you if you don't know, I think.
Do you mean the voltage regulator?
That's the one. Good job.
It's in one of the other boxes. I don't think we needed another one, though.
Are you kidding? The last one literally melted. It's a good thing I have an extremely sick metal arm, otherwise it would have been badly injured. Ashley's prosthetic arm is a point of pride. She wouldn't trade it for anything, not even the arm that it replaced. Good girl.
The claw. Yeah, thank goodness. Is there anything missing?
I shall check.
Need some espresso.
I think I will literally die if I have any more.
Oh, that's really mature of you. Nice job.
Yeah, whatever. You can get me some chocolate if you want. Don't tell Ashley that chocolate has trace amounts of caffeine. At least it's not more espresso.
Sure thing. Be back in a moment. Oh, hey dude, where you been?
Oh, hey. Just chillin'. Not much to do when you're waiting to die. Hey. Come on, Cooper. I know you're hiding down there somewhere. Hold this, will you? Cooper. Not that we've encountered that one.
Did Ned really say that?
Yeah.
Do you believe it?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's not a lie.
Lie. The most dangerous lies are the lies we tell ourselves. But,
It's not the whole truth either.
and?
I don't quite have the time to untangle it for you.
Maddy's the sort of person to weave tangled webs without too much consideration for who's going to have to untangle them.
I got a hungry teenager downstairs and a summoning ritual to complete.
Oh, she's part of this too?
Why don't you take that judgy tone with me?
Hey, far be it from me to moralize at you.
Getting a lot of that these days, mate. Just trying to keep everyone happy.
Tough gig.
I'll say.
Alright, now, if you can solder these two wires. No, not those ones. Bloody hell. Who programmed you? Bet she's a jerk. Incredibly intelligent, but a very bad programmer. Ashley's learned how to program exactly the minimum amount she needs to and not one iota more. You're talking about yourself, right? God damn it! She threw another knife! I'm guessing with the lack of espresso, she was nowhere near as energetic with that throw compared to the one she threw at Che. Wow. You're really out of it, huh? Where'd you even pull this from? Leg holster. You aren't wearing a leg holster. Arm holster. Your prosthetic? It holds 6 million knives. Don't question me on this. I'm the expert here. Oh. Hey, need a hand? Dude, you should check yourself before you fucking wreck yourself.
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh. Yeah, I guess you can help. Before I ask what you need, what are you even doing? Love this sassy small child. That weak-ass knife throw.
Maddy mentioned a summoning circle?
Something like that. You ever wanted to live forever?
I'd trade that for just having a second chance, honestly.
Well, grab me that box, please.
You can't just leave that hanging like that.
Watch me. While you watch me leave you hanging, you can go get the box. Thank you.
Yeah, so, this is really heavy. What's even in here?
100 meters of heavy gauge copper cable, a bunch of capacitors I'm going to wire together soon, and some various bits and bobs.
Copper cable. And the basement full of magical items, this copper wire might be the thing most in danger of being stolen. It's easier to flip, at least. That would definitely explain the weight.
No, there's also a bunch of clamps.
So what do you need?
Validation. Chocolate. Coffee. The school system that doesn't punish me for having weird and niche interests.
I meant more,
Communism.
What? Ashley's a real party girl. I don't think I can get you communism, sorry. And isn't Maddy already getting you chocolate?
You're a terrible comrade, Kishan. If I wasn't close to hitting the LD50 of caffeine, I'd ask you for some coffee, so all you can do right now is give me that sweet validation.
Okay. You're a real... thumbs up? Good human. I don't know what sort of validation you want here.
I feel like I'm stuck in a loop of trying things that are inevitably going to fail, and I don't know how much of it is my fault for not being good enough at a monumentally difficult task. I'm used to being effortlessly good at things, but I feel like my brain is full of bees on this one. And can I deal with failure? I don't think I can. I'm like not equipped for failure. My entire perception of myself is that I'm good at things. I'm gifted and talented and incredibly afraid that I'm going to let people down at a vital moment. And this is that vital moment. And I just sit here, paralyzed. And I rationally know that a lot of this pressure is just me being hard on myself. But Maddy and I, we tried this already. And we failed pretty badly. It was a disaster. For Ashley of all people to call something a disaster, it must have been a real catastrophe. I can't understate how badly it turned out. So even with all the prep I'm doing, is this enough? Did we learn enough to do it properly? Numbers and formulas and hard science are good, but I can't shake this feeling that I'm going to screw it up for everyone. I'm so afraid of letting Maddy down. There are few things we fear more than disappointing the people we love most.
That's heavy as shit, mate.
You reckon?
Fully, yeah. I don't know what to say to that except that I don't think Maddy would ever feel let down by you. I know I've only been here for like 2 days, but her and Chase seem to really care about you. And I'm sure that extends to accepting you for who you are, limitations and all. Well, honestly, I think you give off a pretty strong vibe of not giving a shit about your limitations. Or that you indiscriminately power through them with some sort of raw caffeine-fueled fury. Anyway, you're immensely powerful and I'm terrified of you.
Fair enough. I was never really super smart or gifted or anything. Sometimes the people who think they're not gifted were just never made aware of their gifts. No, I just floated through school and work and never focused on much except having a good time. I can definitely imagine the sort of pressure you have on you, though, especially given how big this task is. Yeah. So while I can't say for sure that this thing is going to be easy or even successful, I do think it's important that you work on giving yourself a break from the weight of your own expectations. In the terminal, it can feel like nothing is easy. Even Sunday mornings come with their own set of trials and tribulations. Easy like Sunday morning. God damn it, but Sunday sucks. What do you mean this is so CLZ core, Kekun? Like the dialogue, half of it is something I would comment on games dialogues. We're getting super meta here. But I gotta say that I'm having a really fun time voicing it. It's not an easy thing, I'm sure. But my boyfriend is similar. He's very hard on himself and he feels like he's letting himself down. And so, it doesn't go away? I don't think so. I think it just gets easier to deal with as you learn to be more empathetic to yourself. Self-forgiveness and all that. It's often hardest to forgive someone when you're aware of all their flaws. It definitely took him a good few years to even begin to be able to deal with his self-imposed shame. Yes, Kishan has a boyfriend. Had a boyfriend. He's very confused about that point. He's dead, so it's probably had a boyfriend now. I guess I can try that? You can try that, or you can continue feeling super bad about yourself all the time. I mean, when you put it like that. Right? I hate how rational you sound. I know, I'm disgusted at myself.
Sup, nerds? What's going on in this thread?
I think I just turned to dust.
What?
You're suddenly in a good mood.
I maybe ate some of your chocolate.
Maybe Maddy ate some chocolate. Maybe grass is green. No, I swear to God, if there isn't any left. Ashley's instead of Hershey's.
Yeah, I went over this before. You'll comprehensively murderize me.
You'd hate it if someone failed to be comprehensive when they went about murderizing you. I've seen some incomplete murderizing attempts and they ain't pretty. Technically speaking, the boyfriend probably didn't break up with him, so I think there's a bit of an unspoken till death do us part anyways, though.
Don't worry, I only ate a little bit.
Excellent. Is this enchanted chocolate or just normal chocolate? What about unenchanted dark chocolate? Where does that fall in the normal abnormal chocolate spectrum?
Does he deserve to know?
I don't know. I kind of like the mystery. It's completely normal chocolate, isn't it?
Maybe.
Maybe not. Can I have some then? Yeah. Come on, you owe me. For what? Very abnormal. How about you set up all this? Oh yeah, that's fair. 1 square. This is normal chocolate.
Yeah. You'd expect it to not be that.
Well, you implied.
I never implied. You came up with that all on your own.
Damn it. Alright, I'm bored. Later, dorks.
Don't you run off on me, miss. This magic app bank isn't even half done.
I'll do it later. Now I'm gonna go take a nap under that table. If anyone disturbs me... Come on.
You'll be happy.
Confused?
Ticklish.
Extra hungry. I will... mention them in your diary? Maddy doesn't keep a diary. All those thoughts and memories just stay cooped up in her head. One day she's gonna run out of space. Or sanity. And I will exact terrible revenge on both of you later. Jeez, that phrase definitely doesn't start with an M. Ugh, bye. And she's out. I don't know what I expected, but I did not expect her to physically and literally roll her way under the table like that. Well, Ashley's KO'd. Are we sure the kid is sane? Oh god, no, no one here is. Huh. I'm not being too hard on her, am I?
You? She thinks you're great.
Good.
I could probably stand to give her a break, though.
There are a few people who appreciate a break more than Ashley, especially when it's a break from Maddy. Oh.
I mean, I'm expecting a lot from her right now.
She does seem a little overloaded.
Fuck. She'd tell me if things were too much, right?
I don't know. It seems like she idolizes you. Idolatry is a sin, isn't it? Can't be healthy behavior. Also, yeah. Also, never meet your heroes. Ashley providing some very stiff competition for position of favorite character. I know! I know! See, this is one of the things I love about games that keep a small cast. You can really, really focus down on actually making the small cast good. I find the games with a really big cast often kind of... individual characters just aren't as good. Oh, now it's raining where you are with thunder and lightning? Whoa, I do love a good storm, but I hope your power and everything holds. I mean, your power and stuff might be fine. I'm just used to living in Texas where, oh god, the wind blew funny. No one has power anymore. I reckon she'd happily burn herself out for you, you know?
I just need her for the next 4 or 5 hours, and everything will be okay.
Is that when you're planning on performing the ritual?
This thing? Yeah.
What's it for, anyway?
Conduit ritual. Super forbidden magic.
Oh, cool.
Are you actually cool with this, or,
Not hugely, actually.
why is that?
Well, you know, I was talking to Ned earlier, and... Actually, don't worry about it. It's fine. I don't care. What's it do? I live in a small town where the transformers would explode in the summer. Hooray! Gotta love a good power grid. Need that roll as a gif? Oh, man. Just rolling Ashley. Need to be like a 3-part emote.
You know, I took a couple hours from you down here.
Vividly.
This is just a bigger scale version of that spell. Higher capacity.
Who are you taking hours from?
Nobody. Don't worry, bud. You're at a deficit already.
When you get deep enough into the hole, you kind of stop worrying about climbing out of it and just accept your fate.
I can't touch you.
Right, okay. So, even if you're lying right now, shouldn't you have taken enough to pay off your debt multiple times at this point?
The hours weren't for that.
Oh, that's funny. The hours thing came back, but it's the one from earlier when he said he was wandering around for hours. What the hell did you do with them then? Where'd they go?
For our research, we used the following materials. Wire of copper heavily drawn. Jasmine chalk, not Dover. Sustained electric supply of at least 20 volts. Car battery. Capacitors composed of... need better durability. However, we believe extra components are required. Our conduit's properties varied with the layout of our summoning circle, and despite the departure of our test subject during our trials, we were able to ascertain a number of efficiency-oriented refinements.
Certain kinds of optimization require real dedication to craft.
As well as the absolute necessity of a living but non-sentient vessel to act as a so-called storage container. More testing is required. Obtaining a willing subject for future methodology evaluations without attracting the attention of the Council will be difficult, to say the least. I stored them. All those hours are in this tree.
Is this lead up to the scene from the beginning? That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out if it's lead up to the scene at the beginning, or they said they did this once before and failed. Was that the failure? I miss eating. Why? What was your diet like? I remember sushi. Sushi? I thought you said you were a crab. What, do you think crabs aren't dexterous enough to make sushi? Unquestionably, yes. Huh, what is this sushi? It's delicious is what it is. Rice and fish and seaweed. Humans eat it. And crabs. I just don't know where a crab would find rice, or a way to make good sushi. I also ate garbage. Oh, yeah, I also ate garbage on occasion. Unbelievable, you two. Unbelievable. Garbage is good for the soul. Garbage is garbage. It's in the name. What did you eat when you were alive then? Grass, just normal grass. Boring. And tree roots sometimes. There are tree roots here, yes? Yeah, there are. Why don't you chomp on them? Well, I'm not hungry. We don't eat. And also, more importantly, they're powerfully magical. Maddy needs them. If we damage things that Maddy needs, then Ashley will be disappointed in us. Suboptimal state of affairs. I can feel the power in them too. However, I do not feel compelled to chomp on them. What a strange thought. Love to chomp sushi, chomp sandwiches, chomp garbage. You are so weird. Oh, was large box in a previous life? I kind of gotta wonder. I don't know. I was gonna say cow. Do cows munch on tree root? Given his general patience and diet, he has to have been a fairly patient herbivore. Goat? No. Honestly, I feel like his diet's too normal to be a goat. Goats eat everything. No. Apparently I have access to Samantha's side story, Devil's Den. And there's that. Oh, it is an aquarium. Okay, first things first. I just want to know the way out. I'm guessing we're not getting through that door until we find something around here. The question is, which thing is going to be the thing that allows me to exit? The last few have been like right by it, so I guess this is the closest thing. Ashley's original ideas do not steal. Floor sweeper. My last experiment with the kitchen assistant V1 was a big success if you measure success and how quickly it was able to pulverize things generally. The throwing objects at the ceiling technique does not work for pulverizing carrots or celery for salads, but is very good at pulverizing halogen lamp bulbs. This made me think about how much better it'd be if the floor were self-cleaning. Ashlings can sweep up a bit, but usually all they do is move dust around and it's hard to get them to actually collect debris and put them in the trash. If the entire floor were covered with air jets, any small bits of debris that drop on the floor would get quickly whisked away toward a corner where a vacuum or something could suck them up into a disposal chute. Having a bunch of air jets would require a lot of power to run. But air isn't the only fluid that could be used to carry dirt and dust and broken shards of halogen lamp bulbs. Water could also probably do the trick. The issue is that water would damage the floor. Ripping up the wooden floorboards and pouring concrete would solve that problem, and we could mold the concrete in a way that is shaped direct in the water toward a drain in the floor. That would mean no more need to sweep. We could just hose down the entire cafe at the end of the day and it would drain itself. Then it would be dry by morning. It's actually a really good idea that doesn't require any special equipment or specialized hardware once the floor is installed. I should copyright the idea to make sure nobody steals it. Update. After several days of calling the Australian Copyright Council, I finally talked to a person who told me that what I want to cover inventions is a patent, not a copyright. After several more days of trying to contact the patent office, I was told that someone already used my idea. What if it's possible to sue someone for stealing your idea before you came up with it? It's pretty unfair. I'm not able to patent an idea just because I'm too young to have had the idea before someone else claimed it. Knife Retriever V2. Previously, I discarded the idea of using a large electromagnet to retrieve the knife that was lodged in the ceiling. Oh god. My research has led me to believe that the knife in the ceiling is actually stainless steel, which contains iron. Iron is ferromagnetic, which is weird because you'd think that only ferro would be ferromagnetic, but I guess iron is too. Also, I was able to find a gas-powered generator that could supply enough power to run an electromagnet for a short period of time, so I don't need to worry about the circuit breakers. It requires a lot of gas, but luckily getting the knife down only requires running the electromagnet for a short period of time. I created the electromagnet by spooling a power cable around a piece of iron. The good news is that the electromagnet is great at pulling knives from where they are. The bad news is that it pulled all of the knives from the drawers that were within a meter of it when I turned it on. Also, the knife in the ceiling wasn't affected because it was too far away. I looked it up and magnetic attraction follows an inverse cube law. I'm not sure what the opposite of a cube is. Maybe it's a sphere? But the more I think about it, the more it makes sense that the objects further away aren't pulled as strongly by a magnet. The Beseecher 5000. After my lack of success with the Knife Retriever V2, I asked Che to help, and he lifted me up so I was able to pull the knife from the ceiling. He asked how long it had been up there, and I said, not long, and he said, more than a day, and I said, oh, it wasn't up for a day, which is technically true. I'm glad that asking Che for help succeeded, but I think in the future there needs to be a way to automate this process of asking Che for help. Oh, God. Occasionally, I think this girl verges dangerously into that tech bro territory of let's invent a solution to a problem that is completely unnecessary and already exists. Make it more complex and pretend we made it up. I think I need to create a robot with speech abilities that's capable of asking for favors, and I can have the robot ask for favors on my behalf. I think this is a good idea because usually when you ask someone for a favor, then you owe them a favor afterward. But if it were the robot asking for a favor, then the robot would owe the favor, not you. Then the person would ask the robot to do them a favor, and the robot would say, sorry, I'm only capable of talking to people, not doing tasks. And then if the person asked the robot to ask for a favor, the robot would say, I'm sorry, my battery's running low, and then it would self-destruct. Yes, the I is Ashley in this case. It would be expensive to build a new robot every time you had to ask for another favor, but it would be better than having to owe someone a bunch of favors after they helped you. Well, that did not open the door for us, so... Oh! I totally missed this. Okay. Don't know who this person is, just saw the name of Sophia. I'm gonna give them the Lala voice because why the hell not? Never saw this cut of Bicentennial Man.
Oh, my dear Maddy, thank you for getting in touch with me. Perhaps I should say congratulations. I make such a point of making myself hard to find that's always a surprise to hear from anyone. I sometimes find myself fearing the day when I'll be contacted by someone who isn't a fan of mine and who is more interested in locking me away than seeking my advice. One might think that people interested in putting me away be more capable and in possession of more resources than those like yourself who simply possess curiosity, and yet it's always the latter who manage to break through the veil I've erected between myself and the outside world.
Well, I have no idea who this person is then.
You're the first in over 3 years to manage this, and so it's now time for me to find another hiding place. If your next letter manages to find me, I'll truly have something to worry about. If you're looking for a solution to the problem you outlined in your letter, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. My business is that of teaching people how to ask the right questions so they can find the answers themselves, not giving the answers. After all, the most worthwhile answers are the ones I haven't found yet. That being said, your question about time transference is an issue of special interest to me. The idea of storing vitality within a living, non-sentient creature such as a plant is one I've long considered. The issue has always been one of retrieval.
Yeah, that's actually a valid question. So if she's been storing the time in the plant, but all time taken from a plant is considered tainted, then will it basically taint all of the hours when she retrieves them?
If you did find a way to transfer vitality from a plant into a sentient creature, it would result in a tremendous discharge of energy. Such a great discharge, I'm sure, would kill whatever subject was on the receiving end. Absorbing life force from something doesn't seem that it would do you much good if it kills you in the process. Consequently, I've never experimented with this process myself. Even if I've earned a reputation for being a rule breaker, there are certain things that are simply off limits. Your idea of using a non-living soul as the target for transference is an interesting one. No risk of killing the vitality recipient if it's already dead. Of course, that would require finding a way to infuse a non-living soul with vitality in the first place. And being that most reanimation techniques involve a significant discharge of energy, using the vitality transfer as the trigger would effectively be killing two birds with one stone. Of course, reanimation is a far cry from necromancy, but if your only problem is one of living on borrowed time, well, you know better than I do how to resolve the particulars. I'm an alchemist, not a necromancer.
Oh, she's an alchemist. I was about to joke about changing our lewd emote to an alchemist one, but then I realized we already have a lewd alchemist emote, so I think we've got our bases covered.
If I can offer you one piece of advice, these kind of vitality transfers is not something to be experimented with. Anytime that time is borrowed or lent, you're making an alteration to a ledger that the powers that be keep a very careful eye on.
Thank you, Claymore, exactly.
Even the smallest of disturbances is enough to attract their notice, and attracting the notice will put a quick end to any research you might be in the midst of. So if you're going to try vitality transference, don't experiment. Go straight for the end goal. If you're going to catch the attention of those whose attention you do not want, make sure the endeavor's worthwhile. If you have a good reputation, you'll be ashamed to squander it on something so trivial as allowing a mouse a few extra seconds on this side of mortality. As they say, go big or go home. I appreciate you taking the time to write to me. You've given me a new thing to pontificate on, and perhaps one day you may see the results of that pontification in my future volumes. Of course, it should go without saying that you won't be able to reach me again, at least not the same way you did before. I've been found, and that means I need to do a better job of covering my tracks. While I rationally hope that I'll never find myself in a position where a fan's letter finds me, there's always a part of me that hopes one of my readers will manage to track me down. Who knows, perhaps the next letter I receive in my next residence will come from you. But I'm sure you have better things to do with your time than try to track me down. There's a time to adopt the posture of a student and focus on learning, but it's obvious to me that you are someone who has spent plenty of time learning things and is now ready to do things. So do things, Maddy. Do big things, do dangerous things, do things that break the rules. Not all rules need to be broken, but if you're smart enough to find me, you're smart enough to know what rules are worth breaking. I'm grateful as always the reader mail that seems to find me, and never the demands to appear before some kind of tribunal or committee. I used to think that this is a long string of extremely good luck on my part. But over time, I've come to realize that those who wish me gone lack the insight of the people who earnestly read my work, readers such as yourself, who are the only ones who truly know me well enough to understand how I think and where I would hide. Bravo, Maddy. You've demonstrated your ability to think like me. Now you must learn to think like yourself. Yours truly, Sophie Cordova. I'm getting the hell out of here.
So you can transfer vitality if you deal with a feedback discharge by reanimating corpses. Ish. I think they're managing to... I think their goal is to transfer the time and... Yeah, like, if you use the feedback to reanimate a corpse, then hopefully that handles the discharge while also transferring the time. The question is, who are we going to use for that? Because it's kind of a weird one, because we also, if we're going to pay off the debt as the end result of all this, I assume, if this is all about paying off the debt, then we have to be able to take those hours from the target willingly. But if we've reanimated it, that puts us in kind of a weird position where I don't know that technically we can. Because we only take hours from the dead. Not sure if we can steal it from the living in quite the same way, and we have like 600 hours to take. So there's the extra episode. There's doodling. There's crash to desktop. On we go. Looking to commit supernatural tax fraud? Kind of, yeah. Clearly the solution is find an immortal so you can siphon endless hours and crash the hour economy. Well, we have a semi-immortal. Don't think we know any actual immortals, though. Day 2, 10 p.m. in the terminal. Hello? What was that? Oh, wrong voice.
What was that?
Oh, okay, I have no idea who this voice is going to be, so let's wait until we can see them. I said, can I get 2 lattes?
Nah, sure thing. You want those takeaway or not?
That for here, please.
Go take a seat and I'll bring it over. Ah, crap.
You right, mate?
Yeah, all good, all good. I should really get Ashley to do this.
Sorry, what?
Nothing, I'm just talking to myself.
Alright.
Ugh. Where's the broom? Ashley? Where's the broom? Ashley?
No.
I need a hand. Come help me.
No.
Come on, I've got to find the broom.
No.
Ah, girl.
And straight back out.
Hey, any of your friends around?
Probably.
No. When did you teach them to do that?
I didn't. That one's just weird.
Uh-huh. How you doing, kiddo?
Sleep deprivation's kicking in.
Sometimes I feel like nobody ever sleeps in this cafe.
Except Kishan.
Yeah, slept a lot while he's been here, hasn't he?
It's because you keep getting him drunk.
I have not done that once.
Not you. I mean, you.
So not me at all, but Maddy and Ned, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Those brigands.
You're telling me.
How's Maddy doing?
Well. Yeah, the remaining hours people have in the terminal are usable as currency. People gamble with Maddy, and she always wins. So she takes 4 hours off people when she does it. How close are we to being done?
Fairly close. I'm not super worried about getting it done without Ashley either.
Rad.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh, just that I think I understand everything now.
And?
That's all.
Well, I appreciate your restraint and not generously supplying me with your moral take on it.
No worries. Don't want to be that guy.
Dang, I'm actually gonna miss you once you're gone.
Wow, are those some honest feelings coming from you? Doth thy AC facade crack? Nice. Did I say AC? I think I said AC. My mouth is not working today. Wow. Does Maddy seem like the kind of person who hides behind a mask? Well, I mean, sarcasm is its own mask, right? Yes, if you run out of hours, you start to get itchy, and it's an overall terrible experience. And he's past his hours now. He was at 25 when he drank the soul bottle with Ned, and it's been a couple hours since that, at least.
The correct word there is dust, and please don't make me take it back.
Well, I guess you really got into the whole boatman of the river Styx thing, huh? You ever find yourself in the river Styx, be sure to give the boatman or the barista a friendly wave.
Is that what you think I am?
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Interesting.
Do you not feel that way? I don't know if the metaphor is that accurate, but...
I can see why you draw parallels, but this place serves more as an entrance. You don't have to come here on your way to the next place, but it's on the route for sure.
Just a stopping point on the highway to hell.
I'm sorry, we don't allow AC/DC references in here anymore.
Maddy wouldn't admit it to anyone, but she wants to spend an entire day listening to Back in Black on repeat. Oh, thank you, chat. There you go. Fuck y'all. Well, I tried.
Or less on the highway and more just an embouchure to the Imperium. If you want to get real fancy with the wording, that is.
An entrance to heaven?
Very roughly speaking, yeah. But hell, I haven't seen the other side, so I can't even say that for sure. Fairly certain there's something there, though, which, I don't know. I can take comfort in that, I guess.
I can take comfort in that, I guess.
Oh, and speaking of comfort, how you feeling?
Like, every particle in my body is slowly moving away from every other particle in my body.
That was rather eloquent.
Expressing your feelings eloquently doesn't make them more valid, but it can make them easier for other people to understand. I'm waiting for an itchy, tasty reference. What use is feeling pain if you can't find a fun way to describe it? 11 p.m., the terminal, so another hour over him. My head frickin' hurts. It sucks and stuff. Like if this means that people still make AC/DC references 1,000 years in the future. Apparently so.
I keep telling you, the painkillers will take effect in a few minutes.
I'm not gonna stop yelling until they do.
You know, some philosophers believe that experiencing pain is one of the best ways to make sure you know you are alive.
Jay's met some of those guys, he swears it. He's just had too much time to forget their names. That sounds fake. Which philosophers?
Famous ones?
Oh my gosh, you're actually just making it up.
Possibly.
You could have sold it better. Say that some famous singer said it instead. Cross that generational gap. You gotta appeal to the kids. I feel like every time
Like every time I do that, I just end up looking like one of those old guys who's afraid of wide-ranging societal shifts.
Jay spent so much time being an old guy, he's almost begun doubting whether he was ever really young. I mean, you are old.
I'm not.
You're like 6,000 years old, you gotta give me this one.
Fine. How's your head feeling?
It still sucks.
How about we grab a drink and go sit outside? It's nice and cool out there.
Do I have to? That smile says yes.
Yep.
Like the outside is weird.
I feel it now.
Across the generational gap, and I saw some TikTok that said pain is one of the ways you know you're alive. Oh my god. The only way I'm crossing that generational gap is with a fucking harpoon, Rodrigo. Better, marginally. Things existing in the margin still deserve attention.
Come on, I'm sure the drink is not hurting.
What even is this?
I put 6 sugars in it?
Oh, you know me so well. Flop. Harpoon covered in explosives. I am a fan of a good satchel charge.
So, how are things at home?
Meh.
What's that translate to in old people language?
Things are normal, I guess. Mom's nearly done with her PhD.
That sounds good.
It is, probably. Like, she's pretty busy, so that means we're stuck eating microwave dinners at night. Now she's parents have forbidden her from tinkering with the microwave after the magnetron incident.
Ah, that explains why you've barely left this place since last week.
I mean, I'd be here anyway.
True. You did ask her, right?
What, if I could be here?
Yeah. I do not want to invoke her wrath, do I?
She doesn't worry about me being here. Remember when she talked to Maddy about liquor licensing laws, right? Don't you love when the government offers to sell your rights back to you after they've confiscated them? Ouch.
I think it was more of a lecture than a conversation. After all, Maddy wasn't doing anything wrong aside from letting you hang around after hours. I'm still amazed that Maddy did not just tell her that we are not technically subject to the regulations since we're not registered with anyone but the council.
She made the right choice. That would have been an ugly argument. But anyway, she's like fine with me being here. She's got my mobile number, and as long as I respond to her check-in, she's not going to come and get me. I wonder if I could dig up the soundtrack for this somewhere. It's had some really good music.
Good. I would not want to worry her. No.
Oh, rain sounds so good.
Wonderful.
Ugh. My arm will get wet.
Do not worry about it. We can dry it off inside. Just try and enjoy the rain.
Okay.
I was joking about fake philosophy earlier, but I really do think it is important to take a moment to enjoy things when you can. Rain can feel oppressive. It can stop you from going outside and doing the things you enjoy. But there is nothing like the smell of rain before sunrise.
Petrichor. Yes, that is literally the word for the way it smells after it rains.
Yeah, it's faintly magical. Did I ever tell you that?
Only about 100 times. I can hear it 101 times. It's okay. Wow, that is weirdly on point. Quote sodium gave back in one end and out the other. I'm the Taco Bell of Monster Hunter. Taco Bell's pretty fucking salty.
Actually, alright, I'm actually getting kind of wet. Let's head in.
So, given the fact that I'm very obviously a dork with a bleeding heart, it is definitely safe to assume I've let people out of the near state longer than they're technically allowed.
You're so emotionally repressed that I never could have guessed. It's actually impressive.
Well, you know, we all have our ways of coping with persistent extreme stress.
Millennial things. Why don't all these poor kids just buy more money? Fuck me, man. Every so often the game's just like, yeah, let's just rip out your jugular. Straight for it. Fuck.
Yep. Yes, I do understand how you feel. A separation. The difficulty keeping your thoughts together. The base level feeling that something slightly askew.
Also fond of the word apricity, which describes the warmth of the sun on a cold day in winter. Nice. The pain lets you know you're alive. Which philosopher said that, Claymore?
And the fact, not the feeling that your time is up.
Never love facts.
Me neither.
Honestly, I think it just feels like having a cold just without any of the physical symptoms.
I guess that description works too. Not quite as compelling as the one about your particles being repulsive, though.
Well, that's definitely not what I meant by that one.
Isn't it? It's about time.
I can't believe I created these beautiful creatures and you turned them into dumbwaiters.
Alas, such is life.
This does go beyond not pulling any punches. This is going for the throat and then resurrecting you so they can do it again later. Yep.
They gotta pay rent somehow, considering how many cups they drop.
And that's a feature, not a bug. It's to make them seem more alive.
You have taught them to intentionally drop coffee cups in the name of verisimilitude.
You'd hate for your little mechanical critters to be too good at their job. It would totally kill the vibe. Maybe.
I'm gonna get Maddy to start ordering cheaper cups.
Let's see, I'm promoting efficiency in our procurement cycles.
I hate whoever gave you that management book.
I'm sensing some hostility. Do I need to talk to HR?
Who's our human resources manager?
Christ.
I am sure it is very good at its job, just not at bussing coffee.
Oh, one new text message. Maddy wants us downstairs.
Ah. I suppose she is done setting up.
I'm glad she was able to do it without me. Gosh, so proud. I taught her everything I know.
You are a gremlin, you know that?
Gremlins are often blamed for mechanical problems, so in Ashley's case, the description fits perfectly. Of course. Shall we? Yeah, I think Ashley might be my favorite character in the game now. Just absolute little monster. The kind of kid you would be so proud and so horrified to have raised. More proud than horrified. But, you know, some equality between the two at times. Day 3, 12 a.m. midnight, basement. This is, yep. Now we have all the right voices for this.
Ah, it's too bloody damp down here.
Well, I know we're underground, but I don't suppose there are any windows we could open?
There's a ventilation duct in here somewhere. Maddy, mind opening it up and get some fresh air circulating?
Other end's blocked right now. There's a dumpster sitting on top of it. You have to grin and bear it.
Can we hurry this up?
We've done this before, old man.
Some people think Jay is wise beyond his years. Truth is, he just doesn't look his age.
You know it takes a while to set up.
I do not appreciate your tone.
Sorry.
At the very least, can we turn some lights on? With all the crap you've got scattered around the place, I would like to at least know where I'm putting my feet.
Maddy has more important things to do than declutter the cafe.
Ashley, would you mind?
Yeah, I think that's all fine. I'm kind of amazed that Ned's down here. Isn't this super illegal?
Thanks.
You're more organized than last time, I see.
Practice makes perfect.
Hey, Maddy. How much more wire do we need?
I think that's enough. Great. Now,
Che?
What's up, little P?
I assume these are still the same. Aw, some people use diminutive nicknames to create emotional distance. Che uses them to close that distance. I found you a chair.
Oh, thank you.
So, this whole thing, surely it's not legal, yeah?
Yes, the council found it confronting. For good reason, I suppose.
Because it utterly upsets the natural order, mate, it's not just bureaucracy. Sometimes the powers that be are willing to turn a blind eye, but patience and leniency are both in limited supply these days.
Shush you. Most rules can be bent, after all.
Oh.
And Maddy has a particular fascination with breaking rules.
Maddy says the only reason she learned the rules is so that she would know when to break them. She's only half joking. Hey, don't give her all the credits.
Bah.
Is this related to her gambling for time?
Mm-hmm.
So, the transfer.
That's the same sort of magic we're doing now, yes. The council successfully suppressed all available information about it, though.
All the Sarkissi Ruby vibes? Oh, nice. It's a solid style. They really played hard into their stark contrasts. Mostly where the brights are concerned. Like a lot of heavy glow right above my head, for instance, when they're using lights. But I really appreciate that for what has functionally been a visual novel with no real choice. They have put a lot of effort into varying up cinematography in such a way that it actually feels more dynamic than it really is. So if I'm functionally clicking my way through a movie, normally wouldn't be here for that, but it's been a good movie, so I like a good movie. Also, this is like the only way I can legally stream a movie on Twitch with people. Suppressing information doesn't make it go away. It just hides it from the eyes of people who lack the curiosity and persistence to uncover it. Oh, for good reason. What happens if something goes wrong?
Well, you don't tend to mess it up more than once. Or try it again after you fail, for that matter.
What do you even call this sort of magic, then? And didn't even realize it hides itself well. It just kind of keeps ticking along. Similarly, and actually the game we're starting up next week is from a series that has done a very good job of hiding that it's a visual novel with a little bit of extra puzzle element and a little bit of the pretense of control. But functionally, Somnium Files games are a visual novel, just very well hidden. Pretty damn good movie. I really like the voice acting. Doing my best. I appreciate it. Question's irrelevant because it's banned. Strictly verboten, off limits, and likely to be met with a harsh penalty. Extremely cool. And that's what I call it.
Well, by definition, it is a conduit ritual.
Rituals are boring. It's the consequences that you have to worry about.
But hey, we're among friends, so we can call it what it really is.
Necromancy. All those hours are in this tree.
Why did you hoard the hours here instead of using them to pay off your debt? Actually looks a lot like a character straight out of A Hat in Time. Oh yeah?
Why would I use them to pay off a debt when I could use them to save a life instead?
Oh shit. Alright. How can I help? Whose life? That's the real question.
Will the subject please step forward?
Council Gazette. We regret to inform you of the passing of Che Wu, a beloved fixture in the Australian alchemical community and owner of the Terminal. As an innovator in alchemy and material spellcraft, and as a friend to anyone and everyone who walked through his doors, he will be missed. The best compliment a man like Che could ask for. Friend. Well, so we were right and wrong. He is dead, but he's very recently dead.
You ready to try this again?
Sure. Try not to kill me this time.
Oh, fuck.
Cool. Ashley, let's do this.
Ready when you are. I hate this. You have reservations? It's unnatural to store hours in a non-sentient being like that. I can still feel pain, and this is a very painful process for everyone involved. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, guess it's time for us to watch the show. See how badly this can go wrong. Yay. Calcination. Solution. That's a cool looking effect. Separation. Guys, are we about to Elric this dude? Conjunction. Putrefaction. Congelation. Cibation. Sublimation. Fermentation. Exaltation. Multiplication. Projection. Conjunction. Yeah, very FMA looking alchemy circle, yeah.
Good enough. Ashley,
Everything's nominal on my end.
looking good, so let's get started. Increase power to 80%.
Cibation. Holding steady.
Cool. Next segment.
Activating. We're using a 13-year-old girl as part of a summoning. Okay.
How we doing?
It's going fine. Conjunction's about halfway open. Just concentrate.
Having some issues here. Hey, we need more power.
Yeah, ramping it up. I don't know if this will melt our conduits, though. No crap. Yep, our conduits are definitely melting.
Ashley, language.
Fuck. Bypass it.
I can patch the wires, but I don't know what else I can...
Do that now.
On it.
How close are we to finishing the cibation?
About 90%.
Shit. Shit.
Are we gonna try again? I think I have to reinforce the wires and that'll fix it.
Yes. They're gonna keep going until we make it through. Do or die.
Huh, irony.
Reset and start again.
Calcination, separation, conjunction, libation.
Oh, not again.
Just a couple seconds more. And you've got it. Please do not explode on the small child gremlin.
Yes.
Beginning sublimation.
You've got this, Maddy.
Actually, I think that's Ashley. What? Yeah, those are my voices. And what's next?
I've opened a connection. All I gotta do is transfer the time.
How are you feeling, Che?
I do not know.
Wow, quote child explosion gives us back, and this little piggy goes straight to hell. Che? Sublimation.
No.
Okay, we won't stop.
I've gotten this far. Not giving up now, damn it.
Maddy?
Can't hold on to it, it's slipping out of my fingers.
Energy levels are dropping again.
Oh, so you can keep going for just a few more moments.
I'm rerouting. Did we finish? We could try it again.
I don't plan on stopping.
I think the conduit's only gonna last one more go, then it's kaput. Maybe you're kaput too. I don't know.
Shit. Alright, Ashley, take your position again. We'll get it this time.
Stop. Just stop.
Oh, I've nearly got it, I swear.
You are not going to bring me back. No. I have humored this enough. You have done your best, but this task is beyond you. I need to move on. And it is time to make your peace with this instead of trying to pervert the natural course of things. You never asked me if I wanted to stay. You just made the choice for me, and hurt yourself and everyone around you in the process.
Damn. Yeah, Shay is fucking dead. Recently dead.
Let me leave.
Well, this certainly went places.
Jacoby, you're a goddamn bin... You're a goddamn bin chicken is what you are.
What?
Oh, no way. Crabs don't eat sushi or garbage.
You don't know that?
Yeah, well, you know what does eat sushi and garbage? Thresciornis maluca, otherwise known as the Australian bin chicken.
We find that term offensive. We are actually white ibises.
Uh-huh. Incriminate yourself there. I'd expect nothing less from a bin chicken.
Damn it. Okay, so moving on.
Classic misdirection.
No, seriously, did you see what happened back there?
Yeah, that was rough. And yes, I think the ritual was also tough to watch.
You weren't there when Jade died, but
I remember, they just behaved like nothing had happened. Oh! My impression was that neither of them had ever remotely considered the possibility of failure.
idiots.
Yep, well, we're only here because of them, so we should be respectful. Oh, seems to me like nobody in this cafe really seems to think things through.
Yep.
This place has a weird effect on people.
Too much magic in the air, maybe?
Oh, who knows? Will they be okay?
I don't know how I'd forgive something like that. Being kept here against my will while my very essence breaks down. That's what I believe these kids call a party foul. Honestly, I don't know. I think Maddy probably has some self-reflecting to do. Well... Oh, wow. Thank you, Quatorius. That's a wonderful quote. Chat, if you were an accessory, you would be a Jacob's ladder. I'm calling you a pain in my dick. I don't remember saying that. Pair of saps, aren't we? Who wants to live forever?
Espresso machine's acting up again.
That's what a Jacob's like. Yes. Oh. Guess we just went out. Oh no, the power.
Oh, why does it have to be like this?
It does not have to be like this.
You're right. It wasn't always like this. Travel back in time far enough, you'll find an era when we had a working espresso machine.
And if you travel back even further, you'll get to a time when espresso machines did not exist.
Maddy reached below the counter for the bottle of Chardonnay she'd opened that morning. It was half empty. Gaunt.
Is this the prelude to one of those moments where an old man tells me how lucky we are to have things so easy?
Nah, things are not easier. In fact, they are harder. That is why you need all the modern technology to help deal with them.
Jay nodded to the wine bottle in Maddy's hand.
So, are you gonna offer me some of that, or just keep squeezing its neck like you're trying to choke it?
Maddy began pouring a drink for Jay.
So, what were things like back in the old days?
Well, for one thing, we did not need glasses back then.
Glasses are not a new invention, old man. I've seen pictures of Benjamin Franklin.
Oh yeah, we had glasses back then, but we did not use them. We drank straight from the bottle.
Har har.
No, really. Glasses are just one more thing to keep track of. One more thing to clean. It is much easier to just pass a bottle back and forth.
That may be the case, but I'm sure our patrons appreciate the extra effort that goes into making sure they're always drinking from clean glasses.
I'm sure they do. That is another thing that has changed. Everyone is a connoisseur of whatever they are drinking.
Is that you finger-wagging about how young people have all that particular tastes?
No, at least I do not think it is. I guess people are all enjoying the present moment more. Back when we drank sock juice, you were just doing whatever it took to get that stimulant into your bloodstream. Ditto for most depressants.
Do I want to know what sock juice is? Because I'm fairly certain I don't.
We did not have coffee filters back then, so you would use a sock instead.
Not gonna lie, I have strained alcohol through worse.
Don't worry, we would always use clean socks whenever they were available.
Maddy closed her eyes, looking physically ill.
You were saying something about people enjoying the present moment before that thoroughly awful digression about how you made coffee.
Ah. I know there is this stereotype about how in modern society no one is ever really present, but if anything, I feel like it is the other way around. Nowadays, people are all about enjoying the present moments. People used to be way more obsessed with where they were going.
As in where they were migrating to.
In a manner of speaking. Let us just say that I am amazed how few people these days come in here asking questions about heaven and hell. 100 years ago, if you caught someone on the way out of this world, first thing they wanted to know was, which place is this? And after they found out they were on a temporary stop to the next place, they want to know where it is they were going.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, is that a link to a coffee sock as a product? Yep. Yep. I'm just gonna... I feel like I need to share this. That's basically a coffee condom. That is a coffee condom.
There's still plenty of that.
Yeah, but a lot less of it. And you know, I do not think it was a case of people's priorities suddenly changing once they found themselves standing on the precipice. There were people who used to describe themselves as God-fearing. It was just a part of life. And now it is not.
He shrugged.
I guess people found more important things to worry about.
Well, I guess we all realized that God was dead.
There was not a lot going on back then.
Caphylactic. Thank you, Woban. How are you? He took a sip of Chardonnay.
Good thing I am going to live forever.
Worried you'd go to hell.
Hell yes. I have done way too much sinning to ever make it into heaven.
You've done more good than ill for the world. More good than ill for the world. I'm pretty sure that balances it out. Probably have a positive balance.
No, I do not think it works like that. I'm pretty sure I am just a bad person who happens to do good things most of the time.
Well, it might not be good enough for heaven, but it's good enough for me. So I guess it is a good thing you're gonna live forever.
Oh, that's where it ends. Yeah, so about that living forever. You know, I haven't saved a single time tonight. Oh, I guess we gotta get in there to actually do that. Well, tonight has been a trip, huh? And tomorrow we get to do some 428 Shibuya Scrambles, so we'll have equal amounts of relaxing and laughing, followed by terrible, terrible things. It's definitely going to take me longer to finish than I had pegged it at, but to be fair, I should have given it my Phoenix Wright multiplier as opposed to my usual game multiplier, because I can't really talk over anything in this, because it's all me having to voice it. This is on you. And you should have seen all this coming. I love the sound of a clock. Episode 7. Ghost. Day 3, 7 a.m. The terminal. Oh my god. If Kishan is still here, it's been 7 more hours.
This never gets old. You know, I wondered for a long time how I would feel if I never got old. And then I tried it out. And I got old anyway. There's probably a moral in that story somewhere.
Why do we ever have time for morals anyway?
You're a hellion, you know that.
Even the mild-mannered can raise hell under the right circumstances.
It's weird to think that you used to just be a mild-mannered student.
I was just better at biting my tongue.
If anything, I just hope that I was able to make your life a little more interesting. We've had a pretty good run, mate. I don't want you to feel like I wasted my time on you. Or that having you in my life hasn't been an absolute bloody privilege.
Can we do this later? I just...
Of course. I reckon I see someone walking over. Gonna get the machine ready?
If ever there was a moment when Maddy hoped a machine would fail her, it's now.
Yeah. Let's make some fucking coffee.
There you go. Again, sorry for the wait.
Thanks. For anywhere else, I'd just not come back. But the beans.
I promise it won't happen again. Thanks for your patience.
Is that a $4 croissant? Oy.
How long was I staring at the wall?
15 minutes by my reckoning.
Jay's method of reckoning might be mostly based on hunches, but his hunches are formed by more experience than you can fit into most science textbooks.
What the hell?
I came inside from sweeping up the front and just saw you staring blankly into your mug while that customer was just standing there. I'm being very patient.
I have no idea how that happened. I feel terrible.
That is no biggie. Like you told me the other day, our roasts are iconic enough that we can afford to get away with stuff like that once in a while.
Oh yeah, but the context of that conversation was when we fought off dozens of ashlings that didn't believe us.
How did Ashley even find the time to make that many of them?
I didn't believe us when we told them we weren't stray pieces of cutlery.
Yeah. We probably should not let that happen again.
Trust me, it's not on the agenda.
But like I was saying, people love this place. Even if they sometimes have to wait 15 minutes for the barista to stop hyper-focusing on our coffee.
Yeah, I don't know. How is it meant to happen?
How long have you been awake?
I think maybe 3 days.
Good lord.
That's bad, yeah?
I'm honestly amazed you're not seeing things.
Oh, I'm hallucinating hardcore. No worries there. Also, I keep seeing faces and coffees.
Saying anything interesting?
Nothing but echoes of my internal monologue.
That feels like a very, Deadly Premonition shot. A lot of room in Maddy's head for those ideas to bounce around and revisit her. More espresso equals less depresso. Oh my god. Yeah. You know what? Don't we have that as a line in one of the Falcom games pinned in the general chat and Discord?
I'm sure it's a fun time.
It's a blast.
Went on a 3-day no sleep with all by accident. Yeah, hallucinations are real. It differs from person to person. I developed an illness at one point before I ever started streaming, about circa 2000, late 2012 or very early 2013. And side effect of it, it shut off my ability to sleep completely. I did not sleep for over a week. I thought I was going completely fucking crazy. It was probably the most deeply unpleasant thing I have ever experienced in my life. The bright side is when everything finally cleared and I got better, I basically stopped ever getting sick anymore for years. I think my body was too scared of that happening again. Yes, we do. Oh, good. It is one of the... I had a feeling I'd pinned something from that. Yeah, the more espresso, less depresso line.
At least your hands don't need to be too steady to make coffee.
See, I would not necessarily agree with that.
Doesn't sound worth it? I mean, counter argument. No COVID.
Shh.
Anyway, speaking of coffee, you should make some.
I'm already like 15 shots deep, man. I think I'll die if I have any more.
No, Maddy. I'm saying you have a job to do.
Sorry, I feel like you're trying to lead me to some sort of conclusion here, but...
For the customer right here, who I assume is wanting a coffee.
Oh, shit. My bad. Haven't slept for...
What can we get you?
1 latte, 1 soy flat white. Sometimes things can sometimes pull you back down to earth. At the very least, there's a reason you'd miss having both feet on the ground.
Sure thing. Feel free to take a seat. We'll bring them over.
Man.
Yep. 15 shots though? Really?
Ah.
I was just saying, at some point, you are going to hit a lethal dose.
I have some insane tolerance happening here.
There are some things that Maddy has a hard time tolerating. Caffeine is not one of them.
I think. I hope.
Right. Well, I respect your right to make a complete idiot of yourself and die in the process. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't.
Huh. Can't believe everyone's gonna know me as the person who killed our boss in a botched necromancy attempt.
Oh my god. Yeah, so... We killed Che. We really did. He was not joking. We fucking killed Che. The only thing worse than getting caught practicing necromancy is getting caught failing at necromancy.
You know, it's a hella street rep right there. Council's gonna be too afraid of me to screw with me.
I don't think they're too intimidated by you, unfortunately.
Damn it.
Let us not worry about them for now, though.
What should I worry about instead?
Nothing?
Buddy.
That's right.
Hey, actually, where's Ashley?
I'm sleeping upstairs. We're not gonna get much out of her for a few hours at least. And Kishan's gone off somewhere in the terminal with Ned. They're around.
Somewhere. Good that Ashley's getting some sleep, though.
Imagine if you did that.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Uh-huh.
Also, she's okay, right?
Yeah. Just need some rest and maybe a few days of tapering off caffeine.
Oh. Oh, she's gonna be cranky.
As a mule.
Well, I have that to look forward to.
I'm sure it'll be plenty of fun.
Wasn't I supposed to be making some coffee? Hey, Mama Cat, how's it going?
What can we...
What can we get you?
What roast do you have today?
Let me see. Got your standards, espresso, Italian, city.
No, I'm looking for something fancy.
Fancy, you say? What do you have in mind?
I don't know. Something new, different, special, artisanal.
Psst, Maddy.
What?
In English, that word translates to artisanal.
Thanks.
Anytime, mate.
I got a pretty nice house roast that you might like.
What else can you call a coffee that feels like home?
Beans are sourced from a faraway land, enchanted with subtle magics.
What land? Tell me.
They're from Brisbane.
What else?
I'll give you a secret blend if you stop holding up the line.
I'll take it.
Go sit down. I'll bring it over to you.
What were you gonna give him?
I was just gonna take a blowtorch to some espresso beans.
For the cultured customer who can truly appreciate espresso brulee.
Come on, Maddy.
What?
Don't be ridiculous.
I know what you mean.
I mean, it's a waste of time for you to do that when you got people to serve.
Huh.
Be right back.
I guess Che's just gonna live his best unlife now that he's given up on staying. Well, never wanted to stay necessarily. Okay, I love the very like morning sun through the window kind of like lighting they're using right now. Like, yes, that's honestly that's how my freaking place feels. I've got some very nice east-facing windows, and that's pretty much how the place gets lit up. Nice touch. Day 3, 10:45 a.m.
God, you weren't kidding. This is awful. How are you able to drink that without your entire face crumbling into dust? It's so dry, I'd give Antarctica a run for its money. Antarctica is a desert, technically. Shut up.
I find it drinkable because it reminds me of good times.
Drinkable feels like it should rank right up there with passable for tepid compliments. Why is he dead now? Are people alive here? So why are there also dead people? Why can the people that are alive here die? This is a way station of sorts, Kekun, for, we're a stopping point before the afterlife, but we do exist in the actual real world in Australia. And we are a cafe. So, at any given time, dead people and living people are probably present in the cafe. And rule number 2 of the cafe, you do not ask who's dead. It's rude. Also, as everyone keeps reminding me, do not try to feed the Eidolons. They can't eat, and it's cruel to remind them of that.
What? It's thoroughly shithouse.
It reminds me of lost loves.
It's very worrying to me that this concentrated bin juice
Bin juice, not bean juice. Bin juice, because it's bad.
reminds you of a relationship.
Oh, if only Maddy knew just how many hearts Che has had to break and how many times he's had to steal his own.
No, I've told you about her.
Wait. You're not talking about...
Yeah, the fugitive.
Putting it charitably, there are probably some other words that could describe her. Like bin chicken. Yes, it's garbage bean juice. Bin juice.
The one who I took in for a few months.
I thought you liked her.
I did. The taste reminds me of her because it is smoky
Like licking a friggin' tailpipe.
and has vague hints of iron.
I have concerns, Che.
Never thought I'd have a succubus drop by, to be honest.
Succubi are fabled for going after sleeping victims, so most of them have the decency to wake you up and ask permission first.
Wait, you never told me she was a succubus.
Didn't I? Well, I suppose it would have been inappropriate to mention that in front of Ashley.
Oh yeah, her head would definitely explode.
But yes, she was a succubus. I would not have ever expected a cute demon to crash in my bar, but ended up having a wonderful, if short-lived, relationship.
Flings can cram a lot of passion into a few days. Some people think that kind of passion density shouldn't be possible. Attempt one at your own peril. Did you look that back up, or did you write it down earlier, Claymore? Or did you actually just have a good memory for it?
That's actually really sweet.
Yeah.
Still weird that the coffee reminds you of her. But I've heard weirder things.
If you don't have an appetite for the unusual, the terminal is a bad place to find a full-time job. Probably a bad place for a part-time job, too. Had it in Google, but also remembered it. Good man.
If I explained it to you, your head would explode too. Well, you mentioned tailpipes.
Well, that's my break time over. Time to get back to work, running things, running cafe, doing barista things. Goodbye. I'm gonna go perform barista-related activities, and you're welcome to join me, I guess.
Don't forget to water the plants.
Water them yourself.
It's your job.
Busy, goodbye.
Fuck me, man. I'm really gonna miss Che if he leaves. That is a good dude. I like him a lot. Oh, are we seriously here just so we can be part of a robot fight club? For real? Is this why I was raised from the dead and sealed in a metal shell? Is that the only reason? Guys, I'm freaking out. What? Why aren't you saying anything? Guys! Egg puns. Right? I should poach some of them. Seriously? Is this not a big deal to you? Nah. We only fight if we want to. And it's all in good fun. You're really interested in capturing creatures and forcing them to fight one another? Sure, why not? It's not like we really have the capacity to get injured or bleed. Ethics schmethics. Unbelievable. You two are unbelievable. Hey, is that the sound of someone calling us? I think it might be. Duty calls and all that. Doodles. I've gotten so used to seeing the faces we drew on them. I like it. Oh man, but look at that time. I bet there's actually probably enough to fill a pretty reasonable... Oh, don't forget to water the plants. That means we're probably 2 episodes off end at this point. Yeah, we finished Ghost. So our usual haunts and double shot long black. Now what remain? Huh. Well, you know, all told with the pace, it's probably enough to fill a reasonable Tuesday cast next week, so which means we can start kicking in on No Sleep for Konami Date on the Wednesday. It gives people a little bit more time if they want to play ahead and, you know, still hang out and watch us play here, but not have spoilers. Giving people a grace period of a few days to get into it. But, being that it is 10, that is where I'm going to have to wrap this thing up today. Man, it has gone places. But I don't know where it's gonna go. I mean, we've got the debt potentially to deal with. We've got however Che decides to wrap things up, and I guess we've got poor Kishan to make a decision. One way or another. I'm looking forward to seeing how everything actually finishes panning out. Yes, have a good night, Ring Song. Rest well, and thank you for hanging out. So, we still have 428 Shibuya Scramble tomorrow on Virtual Couch with my buddy the Daimyo, Johnny Cash. That'll be at 8 p.m. Central as usual. And next week, we'll get to wrap this up and then move on to the next of our featured playthroughs. We've actually made really good time between Raido and this, and they're kind of pretty much on schedule. So I'm hoping, if we're lucky, maybe No Sleep for Konami Date won't be as long as I planned, and then we can get an early start on the Thaumaturge, and if we finish that up before the end of the season, we can tackle one of the remaining things in the sideboard. Maybe get a look in at yet another killing game or Death Come True. I'm hopeful. We've made good progress. Of course, I might be wrong, and one of these games might be much longer than I think, and that'll come back to bite us in the ass. But we'll see. So, on that note, thank you everyone for coming out and spending some of your Thursday night here with me. I look forward to hanging out with you all again tomorrow. I'm going to throw the socials out for people to track the social things. I'm actually probably going to start using my socials a little bit more in the near future, mostly because I'm back to working on a personal project. It'll be nice to be able to share that stuff with people. And there is the Discord for people who want to chat or just follow alerts and engage in polls. We will be doing... Oh, yeah, right. I got to finish the wrap planning for HoboCast next week. I started pre-gaming this week, but next week we actually start the bidding, which means we'll have our contenders for what we're going to turn this into partway through August. because I gotta tell you, it'll grow fast when I stop shaving, and we're pre-gaming already. So, that is that. Also, the YouTube side is up as well if you need to catch the higher quality VODs, particularly for either the days of this are up, or if you need to catch up in 428 Shibuya Scramble before tomorrow. The first episode will be expiring sometime this weekend. Those ones are on the Daimyo Protection Act, so I don't keep them around for more than 2 weeks at a time. But, oh, and hello Hostel, as I'm just wrapping up. But, on that note, thank you again everyone for joining me. I hope you're enjoying Necrobarista as much as I am. We will, 428 tomorrow. I've gone invisible. 428 tomorrow, and we will get this thing wrapped up on Tuesday next week. So have a fantastic rest of your night. Take care. Have some good coffee. And I will see you tomorrow. This is Zero out.